So your confidence is always very great. The second thing is counseling. Normally, when you meet patients, the way we talk to them, the way we give them, the general feeling is very, very important.
Yeah.
If you see a patient and never give a smile, and never show that they are human beings, they will not take you to be a very good doctor. Because we are here to serve patients and therefore give them value. Make sure that when they come out of the room, they know that I've been appreciated as a patient. So counseling is very important. Most doctors fail because they meet patients and they don't seem to be interested to treat them. The patient can easily read it from their face, from what they say. The third element is this kind of thing we are going to look at is the skill. The skill you have and the practical skill. You know, when you are in medical school, you do a lot of theory, anatomy, physiology, which is very good. But when you come out, whatever you display is that result of what you studied. But most likely, some of these things are going to drop them. I'm going to show you how to present the camera, but I might not be exactly remembering the names of these vessels, how they pass through the body. But for you now, that's what you are learning. Isn't it? They can say, trace a vessel from the heart, how it is moving through the body, which is very important. But when we are practicing, sometimes we forget those things, but the principles are there. You know what you're supposed to do. And at the end of the day, what is very important is what you do. My talk today, so that was like some sort of education.
Yes.
You need to have a skill, you need to have a good counseling, and you need also to be confident. Every time we sit in the clinic, be confident if you don't know what you are doing. So, we're supposed to study something to do with graduation. And I want to thank the organizers of this. I think for me, I learned these things from third year onwards when we went to the ward. But for you, I hear some of you are in year one, others in year two. So you have not gone to the ward. But it's very important to go to the ward when you already have some little exposure. So that if they say, bring a candle. You know, these nurses in the hospitals, they will be the first teachers of students who are doctors. So they say, go and bring a candle, and you don't know what to bring. Go and bring a giving set, you don't know it. So now for you, you will be knowing what to bring when you start working. So why do we know the I think we all know what cannula is, isn't it? Have we seen cannulas? We see this kind of thing. These are the candidates. 6 years. Okay. People have gone maybe stand here must be all these things. This is how a cannula is. And the cannula helps us to access the veins to introduce substances. In other words, they have indications. Why do we use cannulas? Maybe people can answer very quickly. We don't have time. Why do we use cannulas? Yes?
Therapeutic and diagnostic.
Pardon?
Therapeutic and diagnostic processes.
I think people know therapeutic maybe. Diagnosis, yeah, one. So these ones, that is the one that was mentioned, it's therapeutic. But I want us to be very simple. Why do we put a cannula into a person?
Medication.
Medication to? For what? Medication what? Yes?
I think the basic use of the cannula is to prevent repetitive injection.
So medication? Is it only for medication? Yes. Blood? You do it transfuse blood? You know it? Okay. Is the blood a medication? Maybe, maybe not. Yes, what else?
Like you want to give intravenous fluids.
Fluids. Very soon you will see people who are very hydrated. And you want to put fluids in the body. The person is not drinking. Because of dehydration is vomiting, therefore they cannot breathe. Therefore, you have to insert a cannula for you to put fluids where a patient cannot vomit and then they are benefiting. So we have drugs, blood, intravenous fluids, what else? You have a lot of people here? Sometimes we use cannula to treat blood. It might not be this kind of cannula, but it's use them to treat blood for testing, liver function test, renal, whatever. So we can use the cannula. What else? So cannulas have indications. So we know why we need to use a cannula. So if you see a person who is very dehydrated and you want to give fluids, the first thing you think about is the cannula. And therefore, the fluids are already known. We have different types of fluids. What we have today here is bigger plastic, I think. But we have several other types of fluids. Logotherapy. So these are some of the fluids we give. So if you want to rehydrate somebody, these are the fluids we can give. But if there are others, 5% dextrose, if somebody probably needs sugar, that one has some little sugar in it. Yeah, so that is some sort of the indication for cannula. So you need a cannula to do around the 4 things: blood, treatment with medications, hydration, and treating the blood for others. Now, for you to give a cannula, to put a cannula in the client, you need to prepare. You need to prepare for what? So you have seen me, I need IV fluids. In other words, I'm hydrated. So you need to prepare. What do you prepare? So to insert this cannula, what do you need? Very quickly, Steve. I think some of you know, others don't know. Yes. You need cotton wool. What do you need? You need to prepare. Yes? Maybe sterilizer. We use all of the swabs. Yes? We need to prepare. Gloves. Gloves over here. What else do we need? Strapping. Okay, preparation is a bit of it. But also we need to prepare patients.
Yes.
Don't just come and just grab my hand and you put the what? So you prepare equipment and you prepare what? A patient. So how do you prepare a patient? Some people fear this kind of thing. So you have to pass a patient. Yes?
You explain the procedure to the patient.
Okay. So explain why you need that kind of cannula inside the patient and the benefits and all that. Generally, you convince the patient. If you cannot convince the patient can refuse. Some of you are in the here, you know that the patient can refuse the procedure, isn't it?
Yes.
And you have nothing when the patient can refuse. And it's the only way you need to use to treat the patient. So you prepare the equipment and you prepare the patient. So after preparing the patient, then that's when the real process begins. I don't know. Practically what we are going to do. We need to have a volunteer to insert a cannula. Do we have something we are going to use? Or we have a model to work on? So if any volunteer wants to, where we can put the IV or the cannula. Yeah, and you see, yes? You want to volunteer? This is this is where I have the easy. Okay, so we have volunteer. We have volunteer. So this guy is volunteer. So can start. Where we can see. Okay, so the volunteer is here. Let me look at the volunteer. Okay, thank you very much. So we have a volunteer here. So let's assume this volunteer of ours is 100. 1 foot what? 1 foot I just wait for this man. So I say that, so that is the indication. The indication you already have. The guy is what? It's 100. So we say the preparation. So we want to give IV fluid. Do we have IV fluid?
Yes.
Where are the fluids? Okay, so so you guys, this is how we do it here. So I want to give IV fluids, I already have. I put it. We say we need a cannula. I also put it on my head. We say we need a tourniquet. Put it here. Put it here. What else do we need? We say a swab. Clean the side. So we have a sterile one. We already have. But we can also improvise whenever we don't have. What else do we need? We need gloves. What else do we need? Have I forgotten anything?
Giving set.
The giving set. You know, sometimes in the middle of the procedure, you find that you don't have some equipment, and it's very bad. It's very bad. You might have only attention, and then you find that you don't have the giving set, or you don't have fluids, or you have brought a wrong type of fluid. Because as you go forward, you will understand that maybe the diabetic patient will need this kind of fluid, not this one. So for you, maybe you have normal saline. Okay, ideally you have 5% dextrose, and yet you need a normal saline. So in the middle there, it's very different. The primary is already bleeding, and before you don't have it. So it's very good to always check with what you have. Sure that all what you need is on your way. So I think we are ready.
Or you can elaborate what you can make up cannula itself.
The cannula. Yeah, so we have cannula. There's something that I forgot. The cannulas have different gauges. We have to be ready from gauge 14 to gauge 26. The smaller the gauge, the bigger the size of the cannula. Is it clear? The smaller the gauge,
The bigger the size.
the big is the size of the one. So if I say gauge 14 and gauge 26, which is the bigger cannula? Gauge 14. Gauge 14 is bigger. So if I want to run fluids very quickly, I use gauge what? I use gauge 14. If I want to give a baby very small, I use gauge what? Gauge 26. So there is gauge 14, there is gauge 16, there is gauge 18, there is gauge 20, gauge 22, 24, 26. They are even in numbers. I don't know why. That is not what I can answer here. But each gauge also has a card. So gauge 14 is what?
Gray.
No, black. Gray is gauge 16. I think gauge 14 is orange. Gauge 16 is gray. Gauge 18 is what?
Green.
Green. Gauge 20?
Pink.
Pink. Gauge 22?
Is blue.
Gauge 22 is blue. Gauge 24?
Is yellow.
Yellow. Gauge 26?
Is the 6 I'm not seeing.
So it's also there. So, so this one is gauge what now? According to the time. 24? This which color is this?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't know colors. What about this one? 22. Because it is blue. So if they say bring gauge 22, you don't need to go and read, you know. You just need to know the color. And you will be accurate. So these are the what? Somebody was asking the question, I don't know what to say. So the camera, before we can open one. The camera itself has many parts. It has this kind of thing, they call it what?
Stop.
A stopper. Yes. It has these flaps. It has a rumen, and it has a trocar inside. A trocar is a metallic bit of this what?
Camera.
This cannula. Because the cannula is sort of plastic, you cannot push it through the skin. So inside it is what we call a trocar, which is a metallic and sharp. It is the one which we push through the skin, then the plastic moves on the top of it. But when we have already introduced it in the vein, we slowly pull out the metallic bit of it, and then we advance the what? The plastic. If you just prick the skin before you enter the vein and you withdraw this, the plastic will not enter the vein. So you first enter the vein. After entering the vein, you push slightly, it ensure that the plastic is in the vein, and then you withdraw the metallic bit. When you push far deep with the metallic bit, it will enter the vein, and then again it will come out. Because for it is what? It is sharp. You can push enter the vein. If you don't withdraw this, you can again push out of the vein. So that is the technique you need to do. You push into the vein, then you withdraw. To avoid the metallic bit going out of the vein again. It happens a lot, and then you see blood, and then you think you have entered it. When you put fluid, they don't go. Instead, you see the hand swelling. And then you would have destroyed that side, you need again to go to another side. And you would have destroyed this candle at the same time. Because you cannot use it at the same time. So this is how the candle is bent. I think I've answered the question of somebody. There was another question. Okay, so before maybe we go to insert, also there are sides of inserting the candle, but majorly today we are going to look at the hand. The hand is a major area for inserting the what? The candle. The upper limb, although when you go further into your studies, you find that you can also put in the head, you can also put in the legs. But basically, like 90% of the time we're using the what? The hand. And the advice is use the hand which is not dominant. Some of you are left-handed, others are right-handed. This is the hand I'm going to use every day, and yet you are breathing it. So we use the S dominant hand. So if my S dominant hand is left, this is what we are going to use. Is that the what? Cardio. There are several veins. The best site to enter a cannula is the forehand. Some people have good veins, this kind of thing. The second best site is the hand, the back part of it. And if you fail these two places, the third place is this. They call it what? There are two veins here where you can easily access, but the challenge with this one, this is also a joint. So somebody can keep on what? Flexing it. And remember, the contact is plastic. So if you keep on flexing, what happens? The plastic, you can bend it. And finally, when you bend it, you can close the movement. And when somebody opens the hand, the fluids are no longer flowing together. Or you have broken, there's a break somewhere, and the fluid stop entering the vein, and it just enters the tissue. Is it clear? So it's not good. Inside, you will find in the hospital the medical are put here because they have failed to get here. But always try here and here before you go. Is it clear?
Yes.
I hope it's clear now.
It's clear.
So we are up to the cardiac excellence. We have learned the good sides, the hand, the forearm with the best. If you fail to get a vein around here, then you go the back of the hand. If you fail here, then you come here. But when it is here, you have to give instruction to the patient that you know, don't overfold your hand because this thing is not going to far. Okay, so quickly. So I have this set here. I have the patient. So now the next time is prepare the patient. Isn't it? That's what you see. So now I'm going to prepare the patient. The position you have is vomiting out diarrhea. Yeah, so anyway, this is the practice. So the best way to give it out is use some of the veins here. This water is very safe when you put it. You can bring the water levels into your blood again and without having any problem. The second thing is that when you want to give you medication, which you cannot solve, still you can use the same area. So it is very good for you. And I think within a short time you will recover from this illness and get better. And when the diarrhea is vomiting and stop, we can remove this and give you a drug through the mouth. Is it okay? There is some little pain as we put the cannula into the vein, but afterwards you won't feel it. And after all, we have a good experience. We have put many things to many patients, so we know what we want to do, and we hope you will benefit out of it. So we hope the patient is what? So the next thing is now to look for the best side. So I look at the hand. I see he has veins here, but as I said, I want to first try the forehand. But which is the dominant hand? Do you use this or this one? So we have to go to this one. Okay. So you say I'm ready for what is the dominant hand. But it's always good to know the dominant hand because as soon as you put the cannula, the patient might not use the hand the way they have been using. So as we said, the forehand here is the best. We can only go away from this when we cannot see vein properly. If we see it here, this is the best side here. So we shall insert a cannula in some of these veins, but we have to first clean it to ensure that we don't introduce one. So, so I have to put on gloves. Sometimes these procedures can be bloody, they can bleed. And then you find you started putting without a glove, and then you cannot handle blood yourself. Another thing, apart from swabs, we need to have enough cotton. In case somebody is bleeding, you can always.
The next thing is we need to have a sharp container.
So we don't have a sharp container. In the list of things we need, we forgot what?
Sharp container, and then the dustbin, the bins, where you will drop the cottons and the glove, then the sharp container for the needle itself.
So we first by cleaning the hand. Where we are going to what? Normally this cleaning also has the way it is done. If I begin here, then I go to the sides. To ensure that you don't bring cotton. You don't bring microorganisms from the side to the center where you want to clean. So you're cleaning, beginning from the center, going outside. So now I have cleaned the side where I want to put the cannula. The next thing is to look for the vein using a tourniquet. I want to make sure the veins are very prominent for me to insert the cannula. Let me hope this man has prominent veins.
You want to go down?
So,
It's okay.
Feel free to stand up if you have done that.
Lower the small, lower the yellow man. Don't go.
so you can ask a patient to keep on making a fist. You want to look for it, the prominent vein. So you have to look for the vein to ensure that it's prominent. If you want to come around, you can come around.
Someone can take a video and then later share.
Well, actually, it's live. I've shared the link in the Capsule United group and other medical groups. But don't share it to other university students. It's for half a chair, okay?
We have one of them here. We go straight. It's the same as the
You are here.
They're prepared.
See this? This is better, but yes. It's better. Open.
So you see, this guy, the vein is not very clear. So we have got one small. And this procedure is not as easy as you see, depending on how the veins are made on somebody. So when you are, please, you see, you enter holding here, the way I'm holding this. Because if you don't hold this, the metallic bit we talked about can slip off. So I'm supporting it from behind, at the same time holding this side. I want to keep this cutting edge in front. So I come, we introduce it at smaller angle, probably 10 or 20 degrees.
Let him relax. Not to the right.
In the first attempt, we have failed enter the plane.
I need to. But this is moving. The drone is moving. It's a mobile plane, so it's not easy. So mobile. You need a stable. Stabilize your right now. You go now. More than go on a little bit. Pull up.
So,
We just discard it. Just discard that. You can discard.
so this one, not successful. So the way we discard this one is now we remove this one. Because this is the sharp. We don't discard it the same way with this one. So this one we can put here, but the sharp we should have to hide.
In the meantime, we can use this. In the meantime.
So we discard in two different ones, two different areas. One is a sharp, another is what one? Sharp. So this guy is diverted actually.
No, it's
You need to be clear.
I think it's going to use it.
So, no, this side is still not. So let's go down here in the harder. You think we shall get here?
Very well.
Okay.
Yes,
So
okay.
put the topic here.
Please. Is clear. Okay. Swap it here. Blue. In the box. Somewhere, some you will succeed now. You do like this. Flex. You see, you relax it. You like it. Come down. You do like this. Yeah. You do like this. You do like you relax. Yes, exactly. You wanted to see. Yeah. You raise your hand a little bit. Raise your
Move
hand.
the fist, move the fist. So I think this time we are successful. Let's first check now and see the blood can flow.
Come. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the sharp again. So we put in the sharps. Bring the fluid enough.
Sobre the camera.
Meaning you can't put it when you are alone. And some do it alone. The most experience.
No, that's enough. Let's first do it first.
Okay.
Avoid what? Which set?
Okay.
So this is a giving set as we said. So there is also a trick here because we are not supposed to introduce air into the blood vessel. It is not very good. So
first allow
yeah, so first lock, then put.
then dressing,
Okay.
then first open this, then open this. Yeah. Then you fill the chamber.
And then you open until water reaches this side without leaving any air in this. Clear?
Clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it is
Yeah.
so from here now we put the fluid into the what? Into the blood vessel. And then you open.
Let him do like this. Rest. It's going.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Perfect. So now we are right. But sometimes you might think you are right, and then water fails to what? Move. Sometimes it can be reception here. You see as if it has entered, but this is a clear indication that it has now what? It has now entered. So from here we trace, make sure that we fix this, because a patient should have liberty of moving the hand without worry that this thing will pass away. So these flaps we normally put in such a way that the patient is having a freedom to move the hand without any challenge. That's enough. Yeah, so this is a done procedure now. But it is not easy as you can see. But if you panic, you will not do it. For example, if we had failed here and we are panicking, maybe we would have given up.
Yeah.
So you continue until you achieve what you want. You can move this side, you can fail, come here, but of course, your aim is to ensure that you rehydrate this what? This patient. If we had failed here, we would now have moved here because the vessels here are more firm and bigger. And then we would have put what? But as I said, this is not a good sign because this patient has a freedom to move the joints. But here, you can move all the joints without any interference. Is it clear?
Yes.
So it is a practice. You can start when you are quaking, a bit you are shaking, a bit other will say. But with time, you should be able to what? To do it. Any question? Yes.
I just wanted to supplement. In some said, some of the equipment that you are here, why the increase what was fast, that in some other countries, but like in our setting here, sometimes you find that you don't have resources. So you just basically have in some setting like that. Ideally, you should have a infusion pump, and you load the infusion tube in the giving set. It should be a blood giving set, which the diameter is different. It's different also from the infusion sets which are for transfer, like using electrolytes. Would be nuisance, especially big for having feed, especially taking some other substance like nutritional substance that are feeding very high. Like as we have said, the indication for the procedure, especially would be anatomic diagnostic test, would be getting blood, would be transferring cells, would be managing the infection, depending, but we are supposed to have a nutrition monitor, pump, and you adjust the rate. The first thing you do is you prime the line. Make sure that there is no air in the tubing. Otherwise, actually, for the infusion monitor pump, the fluid will not go once you realize that there's a sensor. You can detect that there is air in the tube, and it will not go to avoid giving the patient complications like embolism or something.
Okay, thanks very much. So he's explaining advanced procedures.
I have a question.
Yes.
Normally, I don't know, but when I go to the hospital and find someone in use, they always prick that bottle out. Why?
Yeah. So now, maybe before we talk, we have put this on maximum and we was running the cell. The reason is that we use the small gauge. We discovered this man blood vessels were not big enough, so using a big gauge would have been what? A problem. So we use the small. This is not, sometimes we want a speed bigger than this. So that one would call to use a bigger one? Bigger gauge. This one is this is the fastest we can achieve. But you see how it is moving? Sometimes we want to put this bottle within the first 20 minutes only. But with this speed, it can maybe take an hour. So if you cannot, then supposing the veins are so small both sides, you can use this and put on other side to achieve the what? The objective you want. You find the person is having both sides, the bottles what? Running. But if you have, if you can use like gauge 16, then the water can run very quickly. Within 20 minutes, it is empty and you are putting another one. Yes.
So for cases of like surgery,
Maybe before we go off, so sometimes they put here air to increase pressure inside for the water to run very quickly. That's in the match, but you have to be very careful. You can introduce infection when you keep on pricking this kind of what?
Yeah.
Procedure. Yes?
Sometimes also you can, depending on the type of patients you are having, you could get a patient who is completely about a patient, you manage to have your IV access, but you're supposed to load that valve on the infusion, pressure infusion valve, that pressure infusion bag, you inflate the bag so such that the rate that the doctor has prescribed for you to deliver to the patient, the manage that patient will sustain. The fluid will be able to go at a faster rate, but of course you'll still be able to regulate it. You have a pressure infusion bag, which that our giving at the bottom, you load it inside and then you put it up there. So you prime the line, you remove the air, and then you're ready to go.
Perfect. This patient had a question.
For people with PHR, do they have to use, like, if you need to put very many things like blood, then also like those salts, you need to use very many chemicals so you can like introduce the same, like two things in one cup because it has to open.
So if you want to put two things which are different, like blood and water, which is very common actually in the theater. For an anesthetist, you have to know this. Sometimes you want to run water, normal saline, and you want to run blood at the same time. So you have to open two veins. This one is running here, another one is what? Running here. If you think blood is not so much needed, you can run this one and then you put blood, run it, then. But you see, blood sometimes have different regulation compared to what? To water. So that's why sometimes we open two what? Two lines for the patient.
I also have a question, doctor. Still, for the case of anesthetist, sometimes we need to give drugs. Personally, I've seen them opening there, then give things, then after collecting the drugs.
Perfect.
So still it can.
You can actually give, like, if somebody is like, you will see a lot of hypoglycemia. People who become collapsed because of low blood sugar. You can put normal saline here and also put a bolus of perfect. I think he has said it. So you can always open here. This cannula has a provision for opening. I can open here and give an injection here. You understand? Yeah, so anesthetist, sometimes you can have this one right, but you can keep injecting from here. All the drugs you need. The first thing they always put this, then they keep on injecting other drugs. The same thing. Yes?
Like on that speed, when we need that speed, can it be at fastest rate or the slowest rate? And another one,
the hydration, they are always fast. But if you are treating other things and you want to reduce a medicine here, it might be very slow. It depends. Like in cancer treatment, you might find they are giving medicine for 2 days in a bottle like this. So they have to run it very slow. And the medicine will be flowing for 2 days. But you find that there is a medicine which you need in 30 minutes, so you will do it here. There is a medicine you need for 2 hours, you will do it here. So it depends. And that's why the sizes of the cannulas are very important. If you want very fast, you have to use a bigger cannula, which is a small gauge. That's what we say, isn't it?
Yes. So I have a question.
Yes?
Sometimes we're supposed to give 2 sets of infusion, maybe in the morning and then evening. But in between there, after disconnecting the first set, some blood comes back into the cannula and clots from there. And in the evening, when they come back to add more, doesn't flow. How should you sort that out?
It's
And
an
they have
answer.
answers
I
there.
wanted to answer that question. Depending on the type of patient, but ideally, it could be having, let's say you have a very elderly patient, and this patient will have a potential to have this blood clots which can. The next person who's coming to treatment or the medication in the night, and to push back that clot that can go and block the blood vessels somewhere. To be in the brain, to be somewhere in the myocardium, and this patient just collapsed and it's gone. If you are not ready to resuscitate that patient will fall. So to avoid an imbalance, forwarding back the circulatory system. Some kind of patients, the doctor can say, you have to put a small dose of heparin on the line. such that ideally the blood is not supposed to flow back. Suppose you can put the liver out after you flush it. Maybe this is for short time and intermittent. But the line you can put some water of the on the line. What do we say? So you don't need to have a blood going back from the loop, the transparent part of the cannula. Once you apply the liver out, the patient can canalize the line, or you can flush it and let it go.
Anyway, I think his question, you can always, there is good management of this kind of thing. You are not all going to be working in areas where there is a lot of things. You can work in an area where you need to preserve what you have. So this cannula can be kept even here for the whole week. But there is something we didn't do. I think we already discussed it. There is that white thing you saw. It can be closed here. Then the patient can be free to move, even in the town, they have seen it. Then later, you can start the same process we did here. You make sure there is no air anywhere in this area. So you can give medicine and have a break. The patient is out of the IV fluid, is out, and then comes back later, but with the same what? With the same line. As you have seen, it is not very easy to keep on pricking your hand. That in the morning you want to prick, then remove completely, and the evening you can put once and treat the patient for the whole week. But following the thing that ensure that air does not enter into the blood vessel of the patient. Is it clear?
Yes.
And when you are moving, ensure that the patient does not, you maintain that kind of fluid flow. You remove and fix when there is some little water remaining in that line, that there is no air entering here. The same here. So if you maintain it, you not disturb the patient. For the whole week, the patient is on treatment. You are always using the same line. It is not infected. There is no air in it. The best practice of the time is you can cover the whole of this with some clean bandage. And even the air does not access this side when you are not treating this patient until you come back, remove it and put another thing. I think we are done, isn't it?
There are some patients that are obese and their veins are not easy to be seen. So is there a vein on that hand, even though in which case the patient is obese, let's say, that vein would easily be traced better than the rest of the veins?
Sometimes you might fail to put this line up. And that's what suffer a lot. In the theater, some of these you have seen these huge women, you don't see anything. Yeah, sometimes they try here or do this cubital fossa and they get it. Sometimes, so it is very difficult. There are advanced things which people talk about, which I don't want to talk about here. But it is not easy everybody to put in this. What about children who are like 1 week or 1 month? Still the same. It is not very easy. But as you practice, you will see how people are doing it and how they are. You have seen kids using the cannulas in the head, isn't it? If you have visited the hospitals, you might have seen it. It's because they cannot get anywhere. There is what surgeons use, maybe using surgery to open up a vessel. You first look for the vessel by surgery, and then you put. It's also there. But for today, I think you like this one.
Thank you so much. Because of time, the other presenters here will have lectures. So we shall be using a little amount of time for presentation and hands-on after. And then we can also have other submission coming in at other time. Also, this will not be the last session we should be having as CAPFIOM. Yes. We should plan, and we have seen the necessities to have this. And if we are having it, maybe we shall request our lecturers to put all on their lectures so that when we come here, we use the day for only this session. Because right now we have incoming call that the clinical students, some of them, they have lectures. So I would have wished that we give a hand clap. Thank you so much, Dr. Richards. He has a program and he's going for a bio. We have already been given the report of that. So he is right now leaving. I will give him 1 minute.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you all. I'm happy to be here this morning as I was invited by the health minister, who is doing a great job in our university. And I'm happy that I'm attending the class of medicine students. I have been following the procedures of cannulation, and I think next time, if I happen to be in the hospital, I will base up on the patient. Because now I know all the procedures And now when you talk around, I will tell you, I have been in a class of medical students. You see, these projects, all these hands-on are very important. And I'm happy that you have come in large numbers because I didn't expect all of you. I thought you were something small, but coming around and see all of you here, I think you need more of this when you have time so that you can gain all those skills. Following your questions, you see some members were doing it, were following it, and wanted to know. Meaning that if you can bring any other thing, now that graduation is done, but I think hands-on is very important for you, mostly because your work is practice, always. It is hands-on. So I'm happy for our health minister for organizing this. And I promise we shall always support whenever we are called to support you guys, because that's why we are here. And when you always organize and we get to know in time, at least we can see how we can always get some facilitators who can always come, like how I did it last time when I was still campaigning. I used to bring you those facilitators who have been in class, who have been on work, and they shared a lot with you. So we can always use this chance to get more of those so that you can know about everything. You will not practice only in this, but you also need to know, what do I do outside the class? If I am a medicine student, if I'm a doctor somewhere, but is it enough for me? So you also need some other knowledges. So much as you practice, but we shall always come in to impart you with some other knowledges that you need apart from this that you do as a profession or your job, because economically you need all those ways of how you can get some income from other sides of the profession. I'm happy that our doctor was here and doing this. Last time when we were campaigning, I remember when I was on the radio station, I told people that we shall make Kavala University Clinic a health center. And people were like, this is impossible, this is impossible. But I told them, being a health center does not mean bringing the buildings, but it's all about the services that you bring. But I'm happy to tell you that our university council passed a resolution so that we can look for all what it needs to have our clinic be lifted to a health center. That one is done. The doctor is already here, and as the Minister of Health will be following up, more will be coming to your way. But we are now done with the University Council. The resolution is done, nothing is left because we have the money to do it. Only that we have a problem with the Ministry of Finance. Every semester, you are charged 30,000 for medical, as medical fees. Every student here pays 30,000. But that 30,000 is paid to the consolidated fund, to the URA. And when it goes to the Ministry of Finance, it will be now the Ministry of Finance to give back Kavala University the money. And the Ministry of Finance says they have what they call priorities. So they may think this priority is not for Kavala University, but it's for this project so long as it belongs to the government. That's why you are seeing on your portals, there surcharges there. Before students come to the university, surcharge is already there. I went to the bursar's office, we had a meeting, I told them about this issue, and they are soon calling a meeting for all class coordinators to be told of how that system operates, so that these coordinators can come back to your classes and tell you how the system operates. Before I thought the university was in charge, but the university is not in charge. Who is in charge? The Ministry of Finance. So this system of the students' portal is not controlled by the university, but the Ministry of Finance. That's why you pay. If you pay more money, you don't come to claim the money from the university. Instead, they write to the ministry because it is in charge. So the system has been said, it is programmed, and because of the overlapping semesters, whereby we had like first year, second semester, which was never there before. It is because of those overlapping semesters that the system of Kabaale University is confused. But yes, but the BASA wrote a letter and put some emails where you can write and have that surcharge removed. But remember, the policy is that from 28th when we came, those of us, I think for you came before. But some of those who came on 28th, you count 4 weeks, when they are done, the charge is automatically there because it is programmed in the system of the Ministry of Finance. And again, when we came this semester, we have some thugs around this university. Of recently, our OC and the team, they shot a man around there. The leg was shot, trying to grab a bag from a medical student lady who was coming from reading. And because we don't have security rights around the university. So it's from that and other complaints that I'm having in the office that I went to the university secretary and it's like I made a strike. And I told him with my letter to the vice chancellor that I'm giving them ultimatum of 2 weeks to find that the whole university, if it's having rights. And I'm happy that my letter was followed. And yesterday, the estate's manager or the engineer came to my office and told me how the letter is in his table and how yesterday they were waiting for a contractor to come and give a submission to go and purchase security rights to be put in Kabaale. That's what we have done it, and we are also engaging them to see if they cannot have our walkways paved or tarmacked, how can we survive? And we are now in talks to see if they can see, this volcanic soil, the volcanic soil from Kisoro, if it is put in our walkways, then the mud will be less. The mud will be less, and from there we can keep moving. Where we shall stop as the government, others will take up from there. We have a road that we shall keep sharing with you on our guild website. We are putting a road. We have developed the office. The office is now on another level. We have done the watching hall. When you go there, you feel some vibe now because we have put speakers, we have put a new screen and others. And soon, as you can ask the health minister, we went to our contractor. Our dustbins are almost done. They are coming to be installed all over the campuses of Kabaale University. That's how we are doing it, and we promise you more and more and more. As I told you, yes, I'm a champion of service. I thank you so much for calling me, and I promise I will keep supporting you. I'm going to the engineering faculty. They have some meeting, and one of our students lost a mother, and they're having a meeting there. So I'm going to join them. So after this, I ask you kindly to let me go because I'm going as a professional doctor about cannulation. I thank you so much.
Thank you so much, again, President. I've loved the way you're running your cabinet. And since this is the first, I think it was also a great pleasure for us.
about this kind. And these are the kind of submission we used to make to the big cabinet, because they used to plan excluding the medical students. So by this, I also request you, because by the time you leave the office, you might have already made a budget for another financial year. Also, I think the budget for Ministry of Health under cabinet of government is very, very minute. You may never know I know it, but I'm one of somebody who do a lot of underground journey. So the budget for Ministry of Health is very small, because we look at this should be more than this. Of course, you can look at the equipment we are using. We don't have even safety box. So your ministry should help to budget for the other coming people. And I love that you don't leave them, you keep submitting them. And then secondly, I request your government in front of you that when you organize a camp, you involve the medical student. We have some senior medical students. They are medical students, right? But they have worked for over 10 to 15 years. And others in this room, as you were here hearing them, they were international students. So I always used to see by surprise, they are having a camp here run by reproductive health, but none of the students being involved. How will this student have answer? Of course, we don't have liability insurance, where if a student does harm on the patient, the university don't pay. But in other countries, the university pays. So by this, we don't put this student direct into university procedures. Like we don't put them where they put cannulas. But they can be welcoming the clients, they can be taking the blood pressure, they can take temperature, they can cancel. Those are non-university procedures that will not harm the patient. So I urge that in case you have these camps, you have a medic, something to do like that, you involve the student. Of course, it's not you, but I've seen with the 2-3 government that have been here. I've had 3 presidents here. You are the 4th president. I appreciate you for organizing this. Thank you so much. You are free to go. Although
Thank you so much, my brother, for that person. And I'm happy the Minister of Health is here and she's hearing some of the things. We shall put them in the writing and we'll forward them and see how we can follow them up. And again, the Ministry of Finance, as I told you, we have a very big problem with it. That's why you see things are not being done. Every student pays 40,000 in a year for guild and sports union. But this money, if you multiply about 4,700 students that we have, that is about 200 million. So meaning that the Guild Council would be having about 100 million and the sports union would be having about 100 million. With that 100 million, everything would be done in our university, even paying all those coordinators who always complain of airtime. It would be okay because the budget would be big. But I tell you what, we don't even get 50% of that money back. The money is paid by you to do your own work at the university, but the Ministry of Finance does not remit this money back to us. We get less, and that is the problem. But we have started a connection. When I went for this National Affairs Secretary Unsa, and thank you for praying for me because I made it. And when we went there, I met this Guild presidents of public universities. And now we are in touch. We are speaking one language to write to the ministry to make sure that maybe the governments that will come after us, this money should be paid separately, directly to the Guild account. If it is paid directly to the Guild account, even this Guild fund we are talking about, it can be voted within 3 years. Because when the president comes, can pay 20 million, another one pays 20, the third one pays 20, that is 90 million, 60 million, where you can have that Guild fund. Where students are suffering every day, like that man of Kanu, the mother is dead, but no transport. The policy of the university, they cannot give a fund of the university to the students. because students have their community and their administration is independent as well. That's why they don't give us those vehicles, because the means of finance is cheating us. But I'm here ready to fight and things.
Thank you. We shall discuss more when we visit your office.
Thank you so much.
Yes, right now let's welcome Stuart for his presentation, and time is moving. Our time we are supposed to stop at 12, so we need to be fast. And without wasting time, Stuart, you're welcome. Thank you. And we put our phone on silence.
My name is Sassi Stewart. I'm a fourth year medical student currently in semester 1. I'm an official standing committee on fundraising. And I'm also coordinator for Kabale PTL. I'm also a coordinator for Kabale SIG Global Program Round. It's a project we shall talk about for another day. For today, we are here to get clinical skills on blood pressure. So I want to make this interactive and to involve you guys. So let's begin by introducing. What do you guys understand by blood pressure? Anyone? And in asking this, I'm not asking for the definition. I'm asking for the formula, because that's what is most important in this case. I'll take this report back to the team that Professor not this team. Okay, so yes, Honorable, you have something for us. What is blood pressure?
Blood pressure is cardiac output times peripheral resistance.
Peripheral resistance. Okay, the something in this stuff was in all the body parts. The peripheral resistance has to be stopped off peripheral resistance. But that's it. Then when you have to further break down what is the cardiac output. Okay. So then, after heart, we know heart rate, the number of cycles the heart rate.
So your voice, Mr. Stewart.
I'm not audible enough.
No.
I'm talking about heart rate. It's the number of cycles the heart goes through in 1 minute. Normally, the heart is supposed to, from our primary biology, like the heart is supposed to be for the time. This is something we're going to find on ECG. I'm sure you guys have already done this, haven't you? On an ECG, the normal ECG, which is at 25.0 mm per volt, it's supposed to have 72 beats per minute. The QRS complex is what you use to count. If it's a normal rate, that's what I'm talking about. Supposed to be 72 beats per minute. Then we are talking about a cardiac, we say it's average. What is stroke volume? Your name? Please keep on, because if I complain, you cannot hear me.
Okay, I was thinking that the stroke volume is the volume the heart injects. Volume of blood is high. That's part of
The formula is not text. The definition is okay, but the formula in this case is what we are saying. Yes, at higher
Stroke volume divided by n delta is volume minus x stroke volume.
yes, that's what I want. So basically, if you know that, that's what I'm going to talk about. So talking about blood pressure, we are going to talk about hypertension and hypotension. So for basically, what are those two? These two are instruments. I carry here. This BP cup is a sphygmomanometer. Then, for measuring blood pressure using this sphygmomanometer, you need because there are some sounds you're going to be listening for. And during systole, there's a certain sound you're going to listen to. And then during diastole, the disappearance of that sound as it fades is what you're going to take as a diastolic blood pressure. And normally the blood pressure is measured at the brachial artery. It's here. It bifurcates into the ulnar artery and the radial artery, as you already know from your anatomy, in the pubis opposite. So we put the cuff here when it's deflated, and this procedure is supposed to be done when the patient is sitting down, because in hypotension, there is a specific type of hypotension. It's called orthostatic hypotension. It's like postural hypotension. When I stand up, the blood pressure of my body, like total distribution of my blood pressure in the whole body, is going to fall by some millimeters per mercury for some time. And the body was made to adapt to this postural hypertension by releasing a certain amount of this adrenaline. When you stand up and when you are when you're seated right now and when you stand up, the level of your adrenaline will increase by a slight amount to compensate for your orthostatic hypotension. Like, you know the effects of adrenal receptor stimulation causes vasoconstriction, which increases because of peripheral resistance. Then beta-1 stimulation for the beta receptors on the heart, which increases the heart rate. So in doing so, we are increasing the cardiac output and total peripheral resistance for cause orthostatic hypotension. So that's why this procedure is done when the patient is seated down and they are calm. Avoid taking any false negative or false positive. So some little preamble on hypertension is a chronic disease, and it's diagnosed using these two. Seriously, but you can see just these two, they can help you diagnose as long as you have the information. According to the American Heart Association, diagnosis of hypertension is made on 2 to 3 clinical visits of a systolic blood pressure greater than or equal to 140 millimeters of mercury, and the diastolic blood pressure greater than or equal to 90 millimeters. And hypertension is, as I said, it's a chronic disease. Like, it's not something that I get today and then tomorrow I'm like at the extreme. It's something which progresses with your lifestyle. Risk factors for like primary hypertension causes, they include people who smoke, increased salt diet, take a lot of spice food, too much salt, and all the additives. Then people who are obese, that's another risk factor of hypertension. Then for secondary hypertension is due to like an existing disease. For example, you know that the kidney is supposed to, like, first of all, excrete urine. And in excreting urine, it's helping keep the total body water in a level which is at a physiologic level for the intravascular volume and the other compartments of the body. So if the kidneys are, if this person is having a problem, if I'm having a problem like chronic kidney disease or acute kidney disease, which is for a long time, I can get problems with that, like removing water from my body, and in doing so, my intravascular volume will increase, which means the end diastolic volume, which is coming back to the heart with the venous return, is going to increase, and diastolic volume, which will also increase, and systolic volume, stroke volume will increase, and you know where I'm going. That's why I started with the formulas, because the definitions do not do us a lot. If you know the formula, you can do all the things that have been taking you through the journey. How chronic kidney disease can give you hypertension and cause the problems with your heart. So, from epidemiology, hypertension affects 1 billion people. Currently, we are 8 billion people for this year, 2022. 1 billion people, that means 1 out of 8 people from the people counting it. Probably 1 out of 8 people, probably 1 of them has hypertension, or is in the stage of hypertension. As I'm going to talk about them. Those numbers, they're not something I can cram in my head because they are useless. I'll have the access to my phone because this is not an exam, so don't feel that. I'm going to go back and read for you guys the numbers of pre-hypertension, stage 1 hypertension, and stage 2. Basically, in management of hypertension, it's in stage 2 where you're supposed to give medication. But in stage 1, we only recommend lifestyle changes. And these factors I talked about, like stopping smoking, you lower your salt intake, increase exercise, cut on the weight or less speed. Then, let me see my objectives, what are they covered. So, we've talked about the causes, the secondary causes of secondary hypertension, hyperaldosteronism, primary or it could be secondary hyperaldosteronism. This is like increased secretion of aldosterone. That's common. It's from zona glomerulosa, the outer part of the adrenal cortex. You know the use of aldosterone. It's to bring back sodium. And the ionization, sorry, the hydration of sodium, for every 1 mole, for every 1 ion of sodium, 7 molecules of water are required around to dissolve. So if I'm having like this problem of taking too much spice, taking a lot of salt, or my kidneys, secondary hypertension, secondary cause of hypertension, my kidneys are not secreting as much sodium as they should. For every 1 ion of sodium, I'm going to have 7 molecules of water surrounding, which means my intravascular volume is going to be high even when my kidneys are trying to secrete. Okay, let me try to brush up. From the complications of hypertension, you can get abdominal aneurysm. Some of you know hypertension. Okay, all of us know hypertension. Is a famous theoretical physicist. It is believed to be one of the 4 who are behind the development of nuclear, the atomic bomb, which was used in Nagasaki. But this gentleman died of abdominal aortic aneurysm, and this is one of the complications of hypertension, like when it has progressed, like from pre-hypertension to stage 1. That's why it's called the silent killer. Like someone can go to sleep normally and then they die of a stroke. A hemorrhagic stroke, like blood pours into their brain, parenchyma, because of prolonged vascular injury from like this abnormal blood pressure. Other complications. Yes.
So, back on the complication, aneurysm, the commonest place of aneurysm is in the sarcophagus. Okay, what is sarcophagus? It's supposed to supply the brain to all parts. So it's supposed to supply blood to all parts of the brain. That's where the anterior, medial, and posterior cerebral arteries come from. The commonest place of the very aneurysms in the sarcophagus is the anterior communicating artery. And one of the causes is prolonged hypertensive vascular injury. Like the blood which is passing in this vessel between walls is at high pressure, and for a prolonged time it continues to wear out the muscle. Clinically, the smooth muscle blood vessel. That's how someone ends up with all these things: abdominal aneurysm, very aneurysm in the sarcophagus, aortic dissection. So hypertension is a really dangerous thing, and it can be diagnosed by anyone as long as you have this and the sphygmomanometer. I've showed you. So it's an easy thing you can diagnose before someone progresses to the later stage. I think we have covered the theoretical part, so I brought some two machines here. Maybe people can come to the front because I'll need.
I think for meantime, I also have mine here, and we also have these ones for the university clinic. Okay, there are different types in each house we have that. We can first move them around, then we are going to have that hands-on session.
We're going to also talk about hypertension. You guys have done shock, haven't you? Pathology. This machine will not just help you diagnose people with increased I'm sorry, I only carried two beeping machines because my bag was really full. And I should have also carried more stethoscopes. But I would want these two items to move around. And you guys need to look at the sphygmomanometer. Okay. So I was still asking about show. You guys have covered the show. Yes? Yeah, too, that covered show. Shocking. Basically, shocking. Decrease tissue pathway. Tissue pathway, no? Relates back to the heart. There is a certain minimum amount of blood pressure in the vessel which is supposed to be present to be able to perfuse or the example kidney. Takes 25% of the cardiac output. Cardiac output is more cardiac output is 5. If the kidney is safe, 25%, that's about 1.5 liters. Every time you pump blood, the kidney is 1.5 liters. So if I'm not able to maintain that pressure, a person may enter at 50 milliliters because the kidneys are not being perfused a certain amount of time. And causes of hypertension can be hypovolemic causes like acute blood loss in children, could be severe diarrhea, vomiting, then another cause of hypertension could be cardiogenic, fibrillation in the heart. The heart is maybe like someone having anemic heart failure, and they are not able to pump blood, or there is a fast like a resistant in the blood. Then for other causes, I will not go much into shock, but the neurogenic shock. That's one common for what having spinal cord injury, whereby sympathetic system, which is the thoracolumbar region. And if it gets damaged, the heart is not going to receive enough adrenaline stimulation from the sympathetic system. Someone will hit the heart will go down and they will not be able to give as much I guess we should get to the, if there are any questions about hypertension, and blood pressure. This was I've been told to cover. Anyone who wants to volunteer to be the patient, please come in front so that all of us are able to see.
Now, just 1 minute. As he's going to demonstrate, then 2 people will come and do the stand demonstration, and then we go to another session. Okay? We are time back, so you can demonstrate. Then 2 people, actually 4. One will be the client, one will be the what? The doctor, the nurse, or the anesthetist.
So, this is a non-invasive procedure. However, you have to take consent because speaking from experience, in medical ward, I've had a patient who was having chronic liver disease. When you are doing a cytic tap to remove, because these people have a tendency of accumulating, like their belly swells, and you have to remove some of that water and also give them albumin to maintain the oncotic pressure as we have said. I don't want to go much into that, but blood pressure monitoring is very crucial in patients who are going to be done a cytic tap. And I had this gentleman who was on my bed, so he was my patient. But getting measured his blood pressure was a tug of war. You can imagine such a non-invasive procedure is a tug of war to get someone like allow you to perform that procedure. Yet it's important for their own. Yeah. The same process I'm going to go through here. We're supposed to do hand hygiene, your sanitizer, and then introduce yourself to the patients. Normally, our patients are covered regional referral. They don't know English. So, and me, I'm not Chiga, Soga. I came this side when I know zero Chiga, but I've learned a lot because with attitude, you learn a lot. And so the first thing you introduce, you do handwriting, and then you introduce yourself. Sebo, amazina gange za historia. Mwetu akaba university. Kuna kitabu. Na kama impression yao. Ndio ya kama mnakuangalia. You ask after introducing yourself, there's something I forgot to tell you about. I've also asked for consent. I've explained what I'm going to do to him, and I've asked for his permission. Because you don't just, as the doctor explained when you're doing evaluation, you don't just come with your things and you plant them into the person's hand. You have to build rapport with the patient.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Yeah, but I'm imagining that that would be like in this situation, like, this is a patient who's unconscious, otherwise, no.
Yes, in acute.
What about the one who is unconscious? I think you explained the procedure. Maybe you say at least more.
Yes.
If I'm unconscious,
Oh, for that, you use acute trauma. It's called ATS. Acute trauma, something you're supposed to know the benefits and the risks. For example, if I come in with a patient, I will first ask you whether with they're not going to look guys, you're having a question here. Something is supposed to switch in that means if you do them right, you can set the patient. If you get them wrong, in that case, I will use that. Asking that's the name of the next thing. Asking that's If there are no other questions, we are going to the procedure. So you're supposed to take note of the location of the brachial artery as I talked about it. Before it bifurcates in the cubital fossa. When you're tying your PP cuff, ensure that these two, so I assume my brachial artery is around here because it's more mid. These two, they're supposed to be in the middle of that artery. Sorry, the artery is supposed to be in the middle of these two arteries. And ensure that this cuff is deflated before you start. So, to deflate the cuff, you open this valve and then push out all the air. You make sure it's out. Then, after pushing out all the air, you lock the valve. After locking the valve, you're going to palpate for the radial pulse. You know where the radial pulse is? The radial artery. It's in the, you can get it in two places. The anatomic snap box, this, or here, medial to this radial tuberosity. So me, I use this radial tuberosity because it's much easier to get it here than here. So you palpate for this artery, according to one of the consultants I had on pediatric ward. When you're pumping this thing, like this sphygmomanometer, which helps you monitor the pressure, you're supposed to pump up to the point where you're no longer palpating this radial pulse, like it disappears. That tells you like the cuff has like clamped the brachial artery to the extent that there is no more pulse you can feel. That's when you're supposed to stop pumping. Pressure into the cuff. So press for this case, I'm going to first leave the sphygmomanometer here because that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the radial pulse. When it disappears, that's when I stop pumping. So I start pumping because I've blocked my valve here. Then get this stethoscope.
After finish seeing the difference in the stethoscope, you can send it back. So that we're using this thing.
So, as I explained, you may not be able to experience what I'm going through, because there are these sounds you're supposed to listen to. These sounds, the first bump is what's going to tell you the systolic blood pressure. I did talk about the range. The range is yes. Normal blood pressure for the systolic is 90 to 119. Then the diastolic is supposed to be 60 to 79 millimeters of mercury. So if you get anything outside of that, either hypotension or pre-hypertension or stage 1 hypertension or stage 2 hypertension. You can get this information from osmosis.org because that's where I read all these notes. I also read from the American Heart Association and American Association of Family Physicians, the diagnostic criteria for hypertension. So we were still on the sound. The first sound we say is boop. Like you feel it. You even see on the sphygmomanometer, it's like it glitches. It deflects. You feel it. Even the patient like will feel it. The brachial artery has been clamped. Now it felt like the first pulse from the brachial artery after starting to release the pressure. That will be the systolic blood pressure. Then you listen. You focus more because now the disappearance of this pulse of the radial artery, like it's going to be much harder to detect than the appearance of the first pulse. So the disappearance where you stop hearing it, that will be your diastolic blood pressure. So you're supposed to pay close attention. Ideally, tell the patient to keep quiet, not talking, no laughing, like no movements. As you say, your patient should be calm, seated. They're supposed to be comfortable. So they shouldn't be talking because you're listening for these sounds. And sometimes, especially hypotension, the patient who is hypotensive, they may be hard to get those sounds. And you may get wrong radios. That's why our wards, they also have these digital blood pressure machines. In case you have a problem with this, you use the digital. Yeah, basically that's it. Are there any questions about blood pressure measuring? I think you guys should do it yourselves. Because we're having a problem of time. I've been told to present stethoscope. Thank you.
So I think those who want to try it out, hands-on, have about
3 minutes trial. Of course, we are against time.
Maybe Charles can help us.
Okay.
To how to use this one.
Also, we should know that there are many types of blood pressure machine. Others we have manual, and these are the manual blood pressure machine. Others are automatic. You apply the cuff, you press, and then you wait for the reading. So don't get stuck. when they say take the blood pressure and they give you the automatic one, we didn't come with it, they are also available. Then this one is another blood pressure machine. It's the same way you can use, but this one, the mercury will be shown to you directly. Unlike this one where you'll be seeing only the reader or the coach reading, okay? But this one has a reading here where you'll be seeing the mercury level rising. If you're pumping, you'll be seeing it rising. And by the way, by the time if the radiator disappears, it will also stop pulsating. You can see it also pulsating as the heart beats. So you pump at a level that most likely, depending on your indication, you go to around 200 and then you start deflating. But you must be careful, like in hypertension, somebody will be having 280 as a systolic. So when you stop at 80, that's when you're going to have a wrong reading. Is that clear? So this was another BP machine, for which cost of time, and then the parts of BP machine you can look up in Google. You can also read among yourself. You can get like this one is the inflator, this is the mercury gauge, then these are rubber tubing. We have the valve, so these are connectors. Okay, you can just read them. But the basic one, the most commonly used are this and then the automatic. This one is there, but very rare. Of course, as a medical practitioner, you must know all of them, because so that when they are given to you, you don't look so free. Are we together? Thank you. And then stethoscope, this is automatic. Yes. This is automatic. Just show it. Just show it. Don't do that. Just show it. You want to do that? All right. Thank you so much for being here. So as we prepare, the nursing students are going to present for us glucometer, catheterization, thermometer, and I will join them to do parts of symptom together, and we need to be a little bit fast. So prepare your team, demonstrate for us what you have, and then we call on the anesthesia students to come and present for us spinal anesthesia, and then we shall be left with only the conductive care. Thank you so much. Yes, so I can demonstrate on you. You allow me. So this is what I've been saying to be automatic. Let's pay attention, guys. We are almost ending. Automatic BP machine or blood pressure machine. Before doing anything, you need to test your blood pressure machine if they are really working. And this one, they are already set. It has the charging point, it has the setting, it has the start and stop, and then it has the memory. You can memorize what you have been doing. So long you know the number of patients you have taken, you can go back and retrieve it. But it doesn't input patient data here. So the name may not be there, so you can go and pick somebody's blood pressure and record wrongly. So still, it has one or single rubber tubing connected to the machine and also to the car. Are we together? So you select, since the resting surface is on this side, I will use the right hand. But if the resting side is on the left, you can also use the left hand. So as usual, you explain the procedure to the patient, you ask for consent, and if she agrees, permission, then you position the patient. Are we together? Remember, WIPA, wash your hand, instruct, permission from the patient. Okay? Then you apply this. Others has arrows which shows you where the artery is and which side you should use. But others will not show you. So your anatomy should direct you. That's why you are given anatomy here. And as Stewart has said, you have to leave some space for your stethoscope, at least 2 to 3 centimeters above the cubital fossa. Are we together? Are we together? Yes. So you see, this is the space I'm talking about. This is where you have what? The diaphragm. The diaphragm of the stethoscope would be there. Then You firmly attach this, and then you put here. In case you are using the manual, use a stethoscope. When you're using this one, no stethoscope. Don't again start putting stethoscope, and this learned patient will start saying, "Who is this doctor?" Then you tell the patient to rest. And when you're taking blood pressure, you don't need to make patient talk a lot because it can raise the blood pressure. So you press on, and you continue talking normally, but you can leave the patient. And this one is a bad one. It should not talk. Of course, Chinese like this type, but if it talks, it scares the patient. Yes, then the blood pressure will increase. That's why the manual still stands to be the best. Are we together? Yes. I remember once I was being trained, we used to use clinical thermometer. You have to use the one which is manual. So this one will run. You first, just for you to wait for the reading. And
mercury, diastolic pressure, 90 millimeters of mercury. Your pulse is 137 minutes.
Then you record your things, and then you remove it off, and then you press off. So this one a little bit give higher what? Pressure. Like for her, she's saying 144/90, which is equal or greater than the normal. Are we together? Yes. But now, what are the conditions here? She was moving around. She has not rested for 10 minutes. So it could be that has made the heart rate to increase, and then the stroke volume also has increased. Then the pulse is 137. But go and read the normal values, 60 to 90. Some books say 60 to 100. Are we together? But the anesthetists, they will tell us different things. When you are being operated, the reading changes. Are we together? You may see like the patient is having tachycardia, but for them they will be smiling. So thank you so much. This is brief about the. Where is the stethoscope? I had there was a black stethoscope there. You can go. So this is a stethoscope, and this is still rubber tubing connected to the earpiece. This is the earpiece, and this is the diaphragm. Are we together? And then when you are going to put, this is not so good. I think mine are left. If you want to put on your hair, there is a part. Yes, exactly. It's okay. It does. I see how it looks. This is how you should hold and put in your ear. Don't turn it like this. Are we together? Turn it like this. Are you seeing how it points? Yeah. Then it will fit into your ear. Are we together? So that's how you use stethoscope. And there are various types. You have seen this has a connection between the arms, and then this one does not. And then there are others. Are we together? Yes. Then I've been given an opportunity by the anesthetic group, plus the President Kumsa. I may not talk too much about indication because of time. So this is a pulse oximeter. I think this one. Yeah. This, okay. This is what is called pulse oximeter. It measures the concentration of oxygen in the body. Are we together? And normally, a room temperature like this, a room air, a normal person who is not sick should have 100%. Are we together? But in practice, if you see a patient 98 to 100, we say it is what? Normal. Anything below 98 or 99, we suspect the patient to have respiratory or cardiac or CNS problem. Because the cause of decreased level of oxygen in the body is one, can be the primary organ, which are the what? The lungs. That is respiratory. It could be their brother, which is the what? The CVS. Are we together? Then another one could be the controller, the center. The second year student, they know those centers, how they are related. Are we together? Then you first years, I know you're now doing respiratory, and you know how also the center is taught. You know those calamus cryptoids, and also you know those other things. Let's not bring them here. Now, if a patient comes to the ward and maybe the patient is an asthmatic, and then you actually all patients right now, like in pediatric, whether in medicine, medical ward, they're supposed to take their oxygen saturation. Then I request you to come. You have taken your history, you are already examining, and the examination you have started with observation. Are we together? The vitals. So the vitals include the TPR, BP, temperature, pulse, respiration, and blood pressure. Now we add another one, which is the what? Oxygen saturation. So I'm going to do some measurement of your oxygen, but I will use your hand and fingers. Do you allow me? You explain. Then you must make sure that cover is very cold. So this thing can mislead you. Why? Because of frostbite issues. Coldness will vasoconstrict the vessels around here and give you wrong perfusion level, because oxygen will not reach here. So the patient will be presenting with low oxygen concentration. Are we together? So you get the nice finger. Again, you don't need to look for the nice finger in a different way. So you press your machine on, and then here it's telling me that check for probe. So it's looking for the probe. I hope this is well inserted. Then I insert. And others, they've already put how the fingers should show, but others may not. It is reading, but not very clear. I don't know whether this one has been set. Some of the machines, when they are new, they need to be reset. So, yes, you're showing 90. So I think this one needs to be reset first. Excuse me, who brought this machine? This one might need to be reset, but otherwise you have seen how I put it. Then you read it from here. The reader will be there. But for this one, it's not reading. Yeah, this one is more modern. It needs to be maybe reset, or it needs a biomedical engineering. Yes, so the first step for us, we don't work on this. For you, if it is spoiled, before you take for people who use it more frequently, and these are the anesthetists. Are we together? So we have senior anesthetists in this room. They can check for us this. Thank you.
They will.
So
This
this
one
is
is
basically,
also another one, but
yeah, this one, the battery is down. So with this view, let's invite the presenters for the nursing student, please, guys. You're welcome. And we're giving you 10 minutes. 10. Time is very, very bad. Because when you're doing exam, you use 5 minutes. So if I give you 20, then in the exam you fail. Yeah, some are also examined. So don't, if you see her there next time, don't start quickly. Except for the nursing student.
Good afternoon. My name is Usat Sida. I'm 3.1 DNA. For us, we were assigned a simple task. We have been taking you through the glucometer. Before I do that, maybe let me give you a very brief preamble. Some few weeks back, there was a patient. So it was a diabetic patient. I was given extra, and I think they forgot to monitor the blood sugar. Actually, P is running insulin. So they forgot to monitor the patient after they had given the medication. So it happened that the patient passed. So you can see, and how do you monitor that? Through the glucometer. So some simple basics, some like this, somebody can set up this one here. So just because of forgetting to monitor using this machine, simple as it is, somebody passed. So these are the basics. If you know your machine, you know your theory, you know you have this, then you know how to manipulate the machines. You be a good care provider or a health person. So I'll not go through the theory of this part and why we do that. So here with me, I'm having a pulse and a glucometer. This is how it looks like. Like this one, it has the start button, it has the menu, then it has the screen. We have a small strip opening up here where you put those strips there. For I'm going to let me show the strips. These ones here, they are the ones that we should insert here. So maybe the best function of this one is to measure the blood glucose concentration. That is majorly the basic function of this one. We have doctors here, our senior colleagues who are here. They know the indications when you can do that, when you're assessing. Sometimes when you're assessing a patient, they will take the RBS, then there's slide insulin, sliding scale therapy. That is very basic. You must use this machine at all times when you're monitoring. So I'll go straight to how we manipulate this gadget here. As we know, in every procedure in the hospital, it must be, you must make sure you prevent infection. You infecting the patient, then the patient infecting you. So what you do is hand hygiene first, because we don't have those facilities here. Those are basic key concepts that we shall be having, but we have the sanitizer here. So the requirements that we need, we have this one, the glucometer, we have the strips, which are here. Then we need a lancet. In a lancet, we are having these ones here. These ones they use for pricking. This is the type. For now, this is the type that I'm having, but the others where I just put and you prick. So we need gloves, of course. After washing your hands, then we need the antiseptic. So you must also identify, after that, arranging your stuff. It helps you to go easier. Instead of going, you have forgotten this, you like that movement, it wastes time. And if you are assessing a patient, sometimes you might end up losing the patient. So, like I said, I'm assuming hand washing was supposed to be done. Maybe I can get a volunteer if you want. If you want to know your blood glucose level. You can clap for me. So far, this is what I have. I'm arranging my stuff. Then we also require clothes for just cleaning the surface.
I mean, you have cotton.
Okay. So I think I'm safe now to touch my patient because I'm now protected. Some certainly. So what I need is to arrange, organize this. So, on this strip, I don't know if all of you have seen, this is the part which is having 3 bars. Now, this is the part that we are going to insert. Here, this part here with 3 bars is the one we shall insert.
So you are going to have 2 of them here. I think I'm going to put one this side and another on the other side. Then you can calculate.
So these are the 3. We are going to insert it inside here. So, and this part up, there is a part which is up, is where we shall put the blood sample which we have got from the patient. I'm assuming he's a patient. So, so immediately I inserted my strip, it began showing. So it has begun showing. So it is not the blood glucose level. I forgot to tell you about the units. The units, some glucometers use millimoles per deciliter, then others use milligrams per deciliter.
Millimoles per liter, then milligram per deciliter.
Then, so
Actually, this thing shows you that it needs blood once you insert it correctly. If you insert wrongly, it will never show you that it needs blood. It shows something which looks like the heart. So it shows that it needs the blood. That's when you can now put your drop of blood. Okay? And you need very microscopic amount of blood there.
So this is the lancet which I'm having. I'm going to for pricking it, obtain that blood sample which I'm going to put here. So I will not go in because I have not given the surface.
Just be ready. Which hand you want? You select. So once the ring comes, you just wait. I will clean for him. Then you wait for it to dry. Then, as you massage a little bit, to make the blood flow through those smaller capillaries, and then you can make your prick.
I pierce once.
You have this one. Let's go once. Bring another strip. You just remove that. Another strip is there.
Yeah, they are here.
Bring. Remove that. Okay, press on. Press on. Okay.
So I'll discard this one because now
so there's where is that?
Once the blood has been sensed by the machine, it will start counting. And this blood sugar level is right there.
So this one is in millimoles per liter.
Yes? 4.3.
That's
very good.
That is okay.
This is random blood sugar. The normal is between 3 to 9.6. So, but other people can go up to 10, others, but it has virus range right now. Where is the sharp?
So it is very important that after finishing, you don't leave these things, these items here. You discard them according to the things that we have. Because now we have a blood sample here. Anytime you can get into contact with, I believe this. But I'm assuming you might get into contact with blood, and that is something that is too big for you to be exposed to other infections. So, after removing the thing, I'm going to so I'll discard my items. This one is back. Then I'll discard this. So this one is done. I'm done with my process.
Thank you so much. I think this one may not do return demonstration. It's very easy. You have seen. All the problem is inserting your what? Your strip and then knowing the normal range. And you can also have, but as a student, as a doctor, you must know the normal range. Sometimes you may not have a reference and you don't need to be a Google doctor. Anything you Google, you guys you like Googling too much. For me, I don't like Googling today.
Maybe what I can add on that, we saw that it was in millimoles, but how now do you convert it to milligrams per deciliter?
Yeah. By 18.
If you divide it.
Yes. Thank you. I will come now. Let's first give a hand clap to him. I welcome the nursing student still to present for us a very important sterile procedure. Listen very well. I was requesting people who are sitting up on the chair to sit really on the chair, because in case they didn't just come here, we look at us as we are very disorganized. And as medical student, I request you to be very, very disciplined, because that is your paper. Number one is discipline. If you do not discipline, you may not finish medical school, I swear. This is very serious. Please do that for your own sake. So let's welcome him. I'm giving him 10 minutes. Catheterization, why I'm giving him 10 minutes? Because one, the patient is in pain, you don't need to take 20 minutes. The patient will die of pain. Anesthetists are here. Even if you are sleeping, you can still feel the pain. So I'm giving him 10 minutes. 7 minutes is for catheterization. 1 minute is for taking temperature. Is that the time you're done with that?
Yes.
1 minute.
I'm going to try as much as possible to make sure that I get this.
Thank you. Because we have lectures. Like me, I'm already off lecture right now, even Stewart. So think for us.
So, I'm called Yawagam Gordon, and I'm a nursing student, as you can see. You can see me in this room. I'm proud of that. Yeah. So, besides that, I'm the vice president of ANSCAP, the Nurses Association. I think most of us here know about it. So I'm going to do catheterization, and as you've heard
I'm going to do it very rapidly. You are going to project for me?
He's there.
Okay. Thank you. So you can go ahead and project. Go to the next slide. So this catheterization, it's a sterile procedure that is done to patients whereby a fine plastic or rubber tube called a catheter is inserted into the urethra of the patient. So you have two types of catheters. You have metallics and the rubber catheters, like these ones. And we as well has two-way catheters and three-way catheters. I've managed to get a two-way catheter which has two tubes, but there are three-way catheters that has 3 tubes. The catheters are of various sizes, as you can see from there. You can go to the next slide. I want to summarize. So, indications for catheterization. When is this catheterization done? When are you supposed to do catheterization? One, when you are collecting a urine sample and you happen to tell a patient and he fails to urinate, you will be forced as an immediate healthcare provider to pass a urinary catheter and you obtain a urine sample. The next one is when you are to relieve retention of urine. In most cases, most especially where you find that the patient is having like benign prostate hypertrophy, whereby that hyperplasia of the prostate blocks urine from being released from the blood. You will be forced to use this catheter to relieve the patient. When you are emptying the blood before doing the pelvic and abdominal surgeries, when you are going to do some operational procedures, most especially in this part, or else you are doing any surgical operation that needs general anesthesia, you will be forced to do catheterization. Then when you are going to empty the blood before carrying out bladder irrigation. Bladder irrigation is another procedure which is done when you've gotten an operation of the bladder. For example, you have cysts in the bladder and they have operated you, they have removed them. Prevent infection of those wounds which they have put in the urinary bladder shall be required to always do this bladder irrigation process. So before doing it, you first untie the bladder, and then you continue the bladder irrigation using a 3-way catheter. Then when you're sprinting the urethra following the urethral surgery, there are some advanced operations of the urethra by specialists, urologists, which can involve splinting the urethra in case there is a trauma, there is a rupture. So before doing that, you will need to carry out sterilization. Then, in cases of urinary incontinence, for example, in patients who are unconscious, shall be needed to do this sterilization. So, care of an wearing catheter. When a patient is having that catheter in himself, for example, it is meant to stay there for 3 or 4 days or 1 week, how do you care for that catheter? One, we hang the urine bag. We hang the urine bag to a raised point. If this is our bed, I will need to take this when I'm doing the bed. If this is our bed, we are not supposed to leave the catheter hanging down. No, we are supposed to hang it at some at a raised level, like here at the bed, prevent infections from passing through that catheter up to the blood. So we can as well clean the catheter tube always. I will also demonstrate this. Then we need to always also clean the gland space solar bed. Complications, if not cared for or placed inappropriately. One, we can have rupture of the urethra. So, suppose you are an incompetent catheter, or anyway, it is your first time to do catheterization on the patient, and you happen to forget and to take the tip of the catheter around you may end up rupturing the urethra, or else when you use a larger set, you may end up rupturing the urethra. That is one thing. Two, you may have catheter associated urinary tract infections, which may cause epididymitis, otitis, and inflammation of the prostate. This epididymitis, it's the inflammation of the epididymis, and it is usually an indication that the epidermis has been attacked by some fungi or bacteria. Then otitis, it's the inflammation of the testes, maybe one or four of them. Then inflammation of the prostate, prostatitis. Those are some of the complications. So, requirements. What do you require when you're going to perform this procedure? One, yes. So, one, you have to be having no trolley. This one, we call it a trolley. Those ones have not seen it, or we don't know its name, we call it a trolley. Then you have our patients here. We have a screen, which we shall use to provide privacy. And our trolley is having both a door and the bottom shelf. So this is what our this is what we are supposed to be having. But the fact that we are running here, I have not managed it all that is indicated. But this is what we are here supposed to be having. This is what we are doing. And I'm prepared when you are not here, but you are supposed to be having these skills of preparing it in order to prevent infections, as it is our first goal. So this is our patient. Once you have prepared your trolley, it is like this. And the fact that it's a sterile procedure, you have to make sure you don't you don't make the patient suffer from any bacteria or fungal infection. So you must make sure that you maintain the procedure sterile. That's why you are seeing my contents. I have this bottom cloth and this top cloth. Before preparing all this, I first clean my trolley. That's the first thing you should do. And when you are cleaning the trolley, you just get your swabs, the swabs say of cotton. You wet them using an antiseptic, then you clean the trolley from the furthest to the nearest point. You be doing like this, clean like this. Then after that, you put the bottom cloth. Then after putting the bottom cloth, you come and put your instruments. So the instruments I have the gallpots. These are the gallpots. We call them the gallpots. These gallpots
are having cotton, and it is the one I want to use as my swab. So I have hidden dishes. And these hidden dishes, I want to use them as receivers. So I have my catheter, I've already showed it to you. It is a two-way catheter. I have a urine bag. It is what I want to connect to the catheter. I have water of injection. This one it is distilled water, but it is special. It is the one we use for injecting. In case you want to, for example, to open the cannula which was blocked by the other throat. However, it is not indicated. From what one of us has told us, it is not indicated. But in case you want to open it, use this one. It is sterile. Then I've brought this to use it
as a KY lubricant.
Yes, as a lubricant, as a KYJ. So, when you're doing this procedure, you should be having a KYJ or any other lubricant that you will use first to lubricate the tip so that you don't rupture the what? The vessel. So, this was my top shelf. And was I'm going to eat breakfast. So we go to the bottom shelf. The bottom shelf is having instruments. Yes, they are sterile, but the most sterile one is the top shelf. So the bottom shelf is having a towel, this is the towel I'm talking about. This is a Macintosh. The Macintosh. A drone Macintosh. Then I have my fish rod. All of this shall be used. I have a 10 ml syringe together with its syringe. Yeah, 10 ml syringe. I have a sterile glove. And I have fluid charts. Yes, I have a fluid balance chart where I will quote any urine, for example, the first urine that comes. Anyway, we will quote urine that comes in that. So I go to the procedure. I will ask you, Mr. Christopher, the judge, to be my assistant. You're going to be my assistant.
And I have a question. What do you mean, assistant?
This one being a sterile procedure, most especially when you're being alone, you may end up making mistakes. You transfer the other bacteria, the Pseudomonas, the Aeruginosa, those other microbes, you transfer them to the patient because of the mistakes you do. But when you'll be telling the assistant to help you, facilitate you, in such doing, you may reduce that mistakes done. So, I told you I'm going to use this one as a real patient. I'm going to assume that now I'm on board. So I'm going to put in place. Let me use John because it's the money. Aha. So, good morning, Mr. John.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good, Nurse Gordon. And I would like to put urinary catheter in you to help you urinate well. Would you allow me to do it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the patient I've gained consent from the patient. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first put on my apron.
if you are not sterile, you can put on, then you start your procedure. But if you are sterile, you ask somebody to put for you, okay? But it's also not to waste time. You are supposed to screen the bed, because now you are dressing, the bed should be screened.
Because one of them was.
Okay, you
But
tell them.
you would still explain to us that for privacy.
So, this patient, let's say we are screening now. You are not there. You are screening. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was over speeding, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I may jump
It's
some
okay.
things, but you're not supposed to touch on the patient when you have not secured what? Privacy.
Thank you.
Even if it is this mere cannulation, the patient may not want the immediate patient to know what you are doing on that patient. So you secure privacy.
You need disposable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you can. And we assume your assistant has the glove.
I assume Mr. Priest is having the gloves.
Apron and everything.
Aha. So I will first put on these gloves, the disposable gloves, and first assess my patient. Assessment means you are going to first check. So you are going to first check and prepare the patient very well. So I will expose only the parts I want to work upon. This time I want to work upon them. Very parts. I see my patient. Yes, he's okay. He's an old man. He's not circumcised. So, and I've prepared everything is there. So what I'm going to do, I've finished assessing my patient. I'm going to drop away these gloves. I'm going to discard them.
They're supposed to wear first. What about the mark?
The Macintosh is already there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Tell us that.
Anyway, also the position of the patient, you raise the legs, like.
Lobotomy.
But they should stop over speeding.
It is okay, it's okay.
You are right.
I should really stop over speeding.
But the position doesn't matter. If like that also is okay, it exposes the organ that are normal. If it is a woman, then you need it on.
Okay.
Or the dorsal with the flex.
So when you are assessing the patient, after seeing that the things are okay, although he's circumcised or not, what you do, you come and put the drum Macintosh and the towel below him, so that when you put the catheter, the other one doesn't drop well on the bed. So those ones we came when they were already prepared. Yes. After doing that, you will have positioned the patient very well. So for this case, we can access the genitalia very well, so we may not tamper with our patient. So I already assume that my assistant has gloves. What I'm going to do is to open my sterile shelf.
And this can hold this cell or top trolley or down cell.
And
or
this
down.
sterile environment, as I told you, it has to remain sterile. If I was having the chitophosphate, I'm sorry I've left it, I would have used it to open up the what? This top shelf. I would have touched like this. Again, I begin from the farthest point so that I don't, disinfect my things. Then I expose them like this. This glove was supposed to be on the sterile shelf, but unfortunately,
No, it's okay, because you didn't open.
So, now, because I have opened it, I've prepared my patient, the next following step is to put on sterile glove.
Also observe very well how they put on sterile gloves. That's a procedure, by the way.
So I will have open it slowly. In this case, let me use here, but I'm not supposed to use here.
Can you see? If you want to open the glass, there is an arrow. When you open, so your trolley is sterile.
Yes.
Just open and
Drop it
let it
on
open.
the sterile environment minus touching it. Because when you touch it, you may end up doing what? Affecting it. So, since you have prepared it and finished, I'm going to first wash my hands. Make sure that I eliminate anything. In this case, I'm going to use sanitizer. And put on my gloves without touching them. So there are two gloves. There's a left hand glove and a right hand glove. So what I do, I will not touch. Anyway, it is like this. So what I do, I will not touch on this outside part. When I'm wearing it, I will just put in my hand like this. You see? So after putting in this, the fact that the one which has remained there is still sterile, I shall hold it using the sterile part and then I use this sterile part to wear this one very well. But sometimes you may not put it in perfectly, but what you have to focus on is to make sure you don't touch on the sterile part. So because this one is still sterile, this one is sterile, now I use it to fit it in very well. I have not touched outside, and therefore I think I'm sterile. So now, my assistant, you are going to help me make the swabs. Yes, the cotton swabs. You are going to use a disinfectant.
This environment is for you. I'm supposed to give you what is down.
Exactly. Yes. So, these swabs, I would have prepared them earlier.
Yeah, you can
Because
use it.
my assistant may be having his dirtiness. I don't want him to dirten my what? So I assume these ones I prepared them at first. So now I shall pick them by myself. Come clean the prince glands of the patient. After doing that, I will drop it. I will drop it in a receiver that is receiving used swabs. And that receiver should be on the bottom shelf, not on the top. shelf. I clean. I hope now my patience grand's pens is now clean. So I hold it firmly. I hold the pens, I hold the pens firmly and upright, and I get my urinary catheter. Mr. Assistant.
Yes, even
So-
if you don't put it okay.
So, before putting
Yes.
this catheter,
Yes, sure.
I told you I need first to lubricate it. Because if I don't do that, I'm in position to injure the urethra. So, I will hold my gauze, this one is called gauze, and it's sterile. So, after he has put his gauze, I come and lubricate the head of my catheter, the tip of my catheter. Then, my assistant, I need to receive here.
I'm not supposed to touch it.
Yes. So I'm holding it firmly upright. I have lubricated my catheter. So I push in. As I'm pushing in, I'm talking to my
You
patient.
talk to the patient, to
John.
get his psychology.
John, how are you?
I'm good, but I'm feeling pain, prisoners. I'm feeling pain.
Oh, sorry. The pain is for a short time.
Okay.
You are going to be relieved.
But now, somehow, will I be okay?
Yes, you are going to be okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now, John, I am done. I have finished. So, I've pushed it and has reached there, and an indication that it has reached in the urinary bladder is that I have seen a flow back of urine. So after seeing the flow back of urine, I allow it to flow in this receiver. Get? And after seeing that first flow back, those first drops, I push it further so that it reaches directly in the bladder. So, my assistant, I need water for. Now, what is remaining, since it has reached there, I now need water for ballooning. And the water I'm going to use, which is non-infected, is the other one that is distilled.
Yeah, don't know. Just go there.
So I'm going to ask my assistant to draw 15 mils or 20 mils. Usually I'm using 20 mils. And then after giving me that, I will use it to balloon this catheter from this other tube. Are you getting it? We have two tubes. We have this one which brought the urine. I'll have this one which we shall use to balloon in order to make the catheter get fixed exactly in where? In the urinary bladder, so it doesn't come out. You see how he withdraws? If you are not serious, you may end up pricking yourself. Actually,
You need how much?
I need 15 mils. It is not
You can use that as a demonstration.
So I now balloon my catheter. balloon. Oh, sorry, it had not got fixed. Now imagine you are doing this to the patient. So you first push it. You have to push it firmly, and after pushing it firmly, you now push this water to go and balloon and secure the catheter from the urinary bladder. So, after doing that, now you have ballooned it, you are done. What is remaining is to get the urinary bag and you connect it to the catheter. So it is made in a way that it can get fixed firmly in the catheter. So you fix it like this and you hang your urine bag at a raised point. Avoid what? Catheter associated urinary tract infections. So after hanging it, you ask the assistant to bring you the strapping, because you will have to secure this catheter on the inner part of the side. So you get your gauze like this, and you ask the assistant to give you the strapping, you secure it from here. The reason as to why we use this strapping, that this gauze to hold it at first, is that some patients have some allergic reactions to the catheter, so may not make them comfortable. So you hold it using the gauze and then you secure it. So you have secured your catheter, you are done. You remove the other receiver that had urine and you put it on the bottom shelf. Then you cover the patient again. And you sunk the patient. John, I have finished. Thank you for your cooperation. How are you feeling now?
Fine.
Okay. I promise we are going to work upon your issue and you will be fine. Here, you're done with the procedure, and what you will do, you will have to remove and start this class. You are done with the procedure and you will be successful.
How do I get
Entering this hearing part, so you're going to put it, you keep on watching it. When it gets almost
Let's pull that up. It's done, pull it up. It's just this part, the way you have pulled, another catheter, it goes like this. Just disclose it like this. After finishing, press back.
and somehow yes.
Yeah. That's all.
and then you pour the urine, you drink this bucket or this. So yeah, then it's all procedure.
Let's give him some 1 minute to submit.
I think let's do the last part that we talked about is removing the catheter. Doctor or someone else can tell you can remove the catheter from that patient. Just not go and put. You need to recall how much water did you use during balloon. You go within your sterile environment. You put out
You withdraw.
That's 25 or 20 or 15. After withdrawing it out, there you can pull slowly by slowly. Otherwise, if you pull before withdrawing, you cause what? Urethral rupture and bleeding and then BCD, which will not be good
for a patient. That's the only thing I want to add on. Then another thing I want to add on is, as I said, the procedure is so sterile. If you do it in an sterile environment, you cause infections. There are diseases there that have come out because of capitalization, bronchitis, lower inflammation. So you must do it in an sterile environment. Therefore, you need an assistant. Never you do a sterile environment without an assistant. And never shall an assistant tell you what to do. That's why I was so quiet. He was asking me what to do. An assistant shouldn't tell you what to do. If it is an exam, an assistant says, hey, you have forgotten this. That's reduction on what? On your marks. So an assistant should keep quiet. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I assume that I didn't come with my sterile glove. I want to remove the cassette. So what I will do, I will get with the patient, tell him what I'm going to do, and gently expose his diarrhea. I first assess.
Let's show it there.
So after assessing, I get my syringe. I will have come prepared with it. So I now withdraw the other water of injection that I pumped. So after withdrawing, now it means it is free to come out. Yes. So I will again hold it and I remove. So after that, I discard this and then send to the patient, leave him, come back.
Let's give him a hand.
Maybe a true demonstration. What I was doing when I was ballooning, so when you have pushed this cassette and it has fully reached in the urinary bladder, what I was doing, what I was calling ballooning, is that when you push this water, this cassine, this balloon gets ballooned.
You see, those are on WhatsApp.
So after getting ballooned with water, it means it is now secure, it is firm inside the what? And therefore it can't
come out.
Never do it when you are in urethra, please. You rupture the urethra. You must make sure you are in the urinary bladder before you balloon.
And when I was removing it, I said, I'm ballooning, I'm withdrawing. So, sorry. So, this is what I was doing.
Okay. Yeah, it's not what.
I can also use this. So I said I'm ballooning or withdrawing the other one.
You use this. Not so.
I said that I was ballooning. So now I'm assuming it is still inside the urinary bladder. When I'm ballooning, when I do this, I remove what I had injected, I had put. So now it becomes free.
Thank you. As we welcome the anesthesia students to present for us something great, let's give hand clap to the nursing students. And this procedure is not only for the nurses. Cut across, whether you're a doctor, anesthetist, nurse, and then also more so you don't put the antiseptic on top of the trolley, and also in other cases you must have a lavabo face comb and a specimen bottle. In case then also a measuring jar, a measuring jar in case you want to measure the amount of urine. Actually, you're very well. All right. So my brothers from anesthesia department. This is most critical area in medicine. You a doctor, you do work without knowing what is happening with the patient, but the anesthetist knows what is happening with the patient. So I welcome these big men to present for us. Let's just give them some few minutes and then we wrap up with use of condom. Don't leave before knowing use of condom. Most of you are from A level, you have been using condom inappropriately. So you will look how risky you were misbehaving with the condom today. Then you will go and use it the right way. So don't move away. We are almost ending. I know these are senior guys. I will give them 10 minutes. But I will add for them some minutes because, you know, if they are, I don't know, they will work against that time.
Good afternoon. I'm Claude Yes, I'm an assessor student. My final semester. Don't mind about my English. I studied English in senior in secondary school, but I studied French language. I studied Rwanda primary. Okay? So, we're going to talk about spinal anesthesia. Anybody knows about spinal anesthesia? Mine is more practical. Spinal anesthesia may be called umbilical block, subaqueous block, spinal block. Another one? Okay. So it's where you get your drug, small dose, titrated dose. Of course, you can treat milligrams per kilogram. And we use the POK. Strictly, it is this one. It is in 2.5 milligrams per kg. And it depends for pregnant mother and no person like me, they are different. Pregnant mothers use only 10 milligrams strictly. So you get your small dose of drug titrated, you put it in your syringe. In your syringe, you inject it in subcranial space. But anyway, before you go there, spinal anesthesia may be called local region anesthesia. Local region anesthesia. And it has very many contraindications, it has very many complications, and some layers or structures you go through when you're giving spinal. So, when you're preparing for spinal anesthesia, we prepare for general anesthesia. In case you get very many complications like total spinal, you go under general anesthesia, but you have to protect the patient. Okay? In spinal anesthesia, there is no total spinal and high spinal, they're different. Okay? So, these are things we prepare when we are going to do anesthesia, spinal anesthesia, and we don't only prepare our worker place, we prepare for our worker place, yourself and the patient. What do we do when we're preparing for our patient? Of course, with anesthesia, there is pre, intra, and post-operative preparation. We start with pre-operative, means before. So with the pre-operative assessment, we prepare our patient. Our client. For example, this is our patient. So we put up there is what we call quick assessment for emergency cases. But this one, it is an elective, the planned one. This is the patient. So what we do, of course, they first bring a list, set a list. So we already know our patient is, this one is called, this man is the man, it's called Ezra, one. Yes, it's called Ezra. They have a list, he's 40 years old. Let me help my patient. Of course, with preparation, pre-op, we must know our patient. We must know whether your patient is hemodynamically stable. Okay? Of course, with spinal anesthesia, it is strictly for patients who are stable. Any breathing patients is contraindicated. Okay? Because you know this okay? So, what we assess, with pre-operative assessment, it is not only about the anesthesia. Of course, we instruct nurses on what to do. Of course, we have to obtain informed consent, not a consent, informed consent. You have to explain different anesthesia techniques you are going to have. You have general, you have the local regional, that is spinal, you have sedation, deep sedation, that is sedation, we have GFSMAS or GAETT, and the bracket tube. They are there of different sizes. So, remember, I'm a student, I'm not a lecturer, I'm a student.
These are endotracheal tubes.
So, with assessment,
different sizes.
of course, medical students who are here, is what we call the coil system.
ETT, endotracheal tubes.
System, those ones. Respiratory, CVS, CNS, GI, those ones. You must review system per system. You must know your patient, where he comes from, his social status, economic status, there is smoke, those are pre-operative assessment. So we informed consent, number one. As I've seen, your patient must be catheterized. Okay? Every patient be given spinal anesthesia must be catheterized. Some investigations, CDC, HD, not much, LFT, those ones, those ones, those ones. But it depends. For a patient who is passing in very well, there is no need of doing kidney functional test. So those ones, you know, the situation which is not good, we do those ones. So for last week, as an anesthesia students, after I've seen all those ones, of course, cannula is there, large bowel cannula. You prepare, you assess your area. Okay? For any kind of anesthesia, you assess your area, airway assessment. Those ones who are in first year medicine, now they are in anesthesia, sedation. Those who are in anesthesia, this bachelor's, I'm doing diploma, I'm finishing, I'm going out like in June, July. I have been in the field for like 9 years, some of us are 3 years. So, Malampati assessment, there's a Malampati assessment, there is ASA classification. Those ones, you study them in the principle, anesthesia will be the principles of anesthesia. Those are the local regional anesthesia, the spinals, those ones. You have very many type of local regional anesthesia, there is epidural, there is this one, there are very many. So with Malampati, there is Malampati 1, 2, 3, those ones. You study them. Malampati 1, you see both over and let me repeat those things. Very practical.
Yeah.
So after assessing a patient, my patient ASA classification is 1. My patient is okay, is good, is very sick. And my Malampati classification is also 1. Okay? So now I'm done with pre-op assessment. Then after pre-op assessment, when I'm not done pre-op assessment, for last week as an anesthetist, we call it rating patients. You are rating a patient. You don't know a patient. You may use a spine, and the patient has like a BP of 80 out of maybe 40 like that. You are killing your patient. You are going to get very problem. That is the importance of pre-op. Then in the morning, you go and check your patient. Is my patient still okay? Yes. You must know your baseline parameters. Your baseline parameters in anesthesia. And for last year anesthesia students, we don't talk the ones like this. We are everything. Because the anesthesia, everything can happen. Because I remember there was a scenario where you had an elective patient, a kid of 6 months, was having catharsis for a short moment. The kid died. Just we failed to get everything was that the patient died. For simple thing, even circumcision, kills the patient. You must prepare the patient very well. So in the morning, you prepare again, you assess your patient again before taking your patient to theater. Then now my patient is prepared, is well prepared. So I must prepare my worker press. My worker press is this one. What we do in the theater have very different things. I start with this one. Everybody knows this one. This is a rotor, a blade, the whole bit easy. This is the right part.
Yeah, we have different laryngoscope
sizes. We have 0, 2, 1, pediatrics.
When you turn it like this, it gives you the light. Okay? When you turn it off like this, it goes off.
This one,
These are plates.
Get what we call failed intubation.
But please bring back, keep bringing them back.
Then in case you fail to intubate and put this one, you always prepare some bag. Is there for ventilation in case it is here. You put your face mask in. You connect to ventilate your patient. Because the drugs we use when we are doing it, they are very dangerous. So we have these ones also, which we compare these ones. These are the fortune says in case of different sizes. These are the for 7.5, 7, they are different. We also have this one. It's very important. It is called boogie. This one. Boogie. We use it in difficult intubation. What we do, we get our tube here. We get a laryngoscope. Here's my laryngoscope. This one. Of course. You get a laryngoscope. Do this. Get your copy. You can't simply view vocal cords. We get this one. You bring your ETT, put inside. You remove this one as we start on this one. You take it. This one is also estimate.
Yes, in difficult intubations, you push in this above into the what? Into the trachea, into the vocal cords. Okay. So as it enters into the vocal cords, you bring in this one. Are you seeing this? Yes. So you mount it onto this one. Remember, it's already into the vocal cords. Okay. So you mount this one into this one. Okay. So you mount it onto this one. Are you seeing that? Yes. Then after which, this one will enter. Okay? You pull out this one. You leave in this one inside.
We also have this one. This one, what is called spirit. First year students know, and see and this one know. This one makes it very strong and fast. When you want to introduce inside, we remove this one, and then you balloon. There's a carbon here also. So, we are in spinal anesthesia. What we use for spinal anesthesia, we have this one, the people can use it. People can.
Who has a small endotracheal tube? Very small. This one? Yeah, exactly. This endotracheal tube maybe just
for spinal.
Both of these are endotracheal tubes. You get it? Eh? But this is called an ETT cuff. Because it has a cuff here, we can even inflate it. Okay? You can do the inflation. You're seeing how it balloons up. So the more you inflate it, it will balloon up. Okay? Then there is endotracheal tube, non-cuffed. See, it doesn't have a cuff. They're of the same sizes. You can get the same size without a cuff. You get it? You can get the same size with a cuff.
what is the relevances of this curve? Okay, one, the relevances of this curve is basically the relevances of the curve. One is to seal off the airway. Okay, once it is inside there, it seals off the airway. Okay, meaning that any reflux from the esophagus can never have access into the airway. Are we together? But we use them differently, depending on the status of your patient, the patient whom you're not sure whether he has fasted or he has not fasted. Okay? It's preferred to use this. But a patient who has fully fasted and empty stomach, you can use this because you have less risks of aspiration. So it's preferred to use this one if you suspect any risk of aspiration. Let's continue.
The reason why I'm not in this, we are in region of spine anesthesia. These are the for anesthesia in case. So for spine anesthesia, we use this one. With Evocate, and every Evocate. That's glucosinate. We have different type of Evocates. This one is heavy and the other one, little one. For open filtration, the other one. This one is very heavy. And with spine, with this one, it is affected by position of patient. Position of patient. The way you position your patient may cause high or total spine. This one. So we have also this thing. It's called what? Spinal needle. Spinal needle. So when you get your spinal needle, it is not a matter of inserting your spinal needle. There are structures you pass when you are inserting your spinal needle. Of course, number one is skin, skin. And they are felt differently. Skin. From skin, subcutaneous tissue. From that one, supraspinous vertebra. From that one, interspinous. From that one, ligament fiber. From that one, dura, arachnoid, and subarachnoid space. When you reach subarachnoid space, of course, even a patient like this, you will, of course, then you will
Cerebrospinal fluid.
Okay. Then after seeing it, you will get your drug, okay? You will get your okay? You hold your spinal needle. What is a cannula? Hold your spinal needle. Then you inject your Evocaine slowly. Then you can open your. Then after injecting, of course, you position your patient very fast. So with the pregnant mothers, you first put the patient in left lateral position. Those who know anatomy very well, you know where the inferior vena cava is, where the aorta is, you know them. Okay?
Yeah.
Mistake. So then, of course, after giving your spinal, you have emergency drugs, epinephrine and ephedrine. But for us, we prefer ephedrine because it is long acting. This one is good for infusion. But with ephedrine, it is very good one. Then, of course, you must have IV fluids for the patient and must be warm. For this patient, you are going to get some decrease in blood pressure. And sometimes you may get like 6,000 of that. And you say, hey, my patient is dying. No, you have to get that. What matters is increasing volume. You first increase the volume. The patient needs fluids, give IV fluids, put you can last, learn fluids very well, very fast. It's a proper patient. You cannot even give these drugs. You give these drugs when you have seen that the BPs are not increasing. That's where we give them. So then how do you get the light? Why do you get the press? You have to put a spine. Of course, you guys of medicine and bachelor's and anesthesia, for us, we believe in practical diplomas. The first day you report in university, it's the first day you start seeing. You get a bed in there and recover, you sleep there for 2 years. And after 2 years, you go. This one is house anyway. So, of course, you have to locate the press. You are going to insert your spinal. That is between L3 and L4. If you fail L3, L4, you go set down L4, L5. If you fail, so you go between L2 and L3. There's what we call Topaz line or area press line. This is our patient. This is what they want a volunteer to insert the spinal cord. Of course, this is your patient, or my patient is set.
Let's assume this man is seated. Okay? Let's assume he's seated and the legs are this side. Okay? So let's take these ones to be, these are the buttocks. Okay? So we shall, I don't know.
This is the breast. Okay? This one. So for after I see it, for us, make and just see and see where I put my spinal. But for you, this is either breast. Take this one. You can drop the line. This is the line. Spinal cord. You see? Press this one. Between L3, L4. You put your needle. Take it. Or you can bring your hand like this. That is meat, some meat. So put that in what? Yes. This is L3, L4. So which means you are L4, L5. Set down. Then L4, L2, L3 is okay. Yeah. That's what I've seen. So I'm going to insert my spinal here. I'm going to open. But you want the volunteer. Of course, one of the complications of spinal anesthesia, may cause hematoma. Number one. Number two.
Please don't forget my things. Try to bring them back. They are not mine.
This one is, oh my God, this one is stereo procedure. I forgot. It is stereo procedure. Sorry.
All right.
I'll get to my graph. I'll get to my graph. I open. I open. Start. I hold my glove. My hands are very big. My glove. It's not easy to start a glove. Very fast. So, after putting on my style gloves, I will come and pick my swabs with antiseptic I'll clean my press. First, I can clean it in such a way, or like this. I start with this one, in here, as I go out. Up to here.
You clean as you make a bigger circle.
And you will instruct your patient through the umbilicus.
Tell him to look at the
Bend, some of bending.
To bend slightly.
Slightly. After cleaning, I'll get my gnocchi for local infiltration. I infiltrate the press. After infiltrating, I'll get my spinal needle. I'll get my spinal needle. My spinal needle.
They are long, but they are short to some other people. When you find a very huge woman, almost the whole of it wants to enter. Yeah. So they differ. They differ.
Very fat women.
Very fat women can hold
the whole of it enters. The whole of it. Sometimes we say Is it a canyon? Is it a canyon? Then I'll get to my spinal needle. Take one. I hold my spine like this. Like this. Not like this. It can enter, but you can't cut the patient. Hold it like this. For me, sometimes we use only one hand, but for you, we use two. You will insert the arm blind. Here. Oh my God. The arm of 90. Then my assume it is late. I will remove my throat. When I see, the moment I see my spinal surface, I will hold my spine like this with 2 fingers. I bring these 2 here. Like this. This, I hold like this. Then I bring my drug here. I inject foreign. After injecting, I will move my syringe. Yeah. And I see whether the spinal fluids are still flowing. I'm still there. Then I remove my needle very fast. I position my patient very fast. Of course, the head must. When a patient like this, it may cause high, like this, high ortho spine. When you talk of high ortho spine, with high spine, which means your block has gone beyond the T4. The moment is above T4, know that it is high spine. What are the signs of high spine? Signs. Your patient will complain of headache, patient will vomit, things. Sometimes you see blood pressure dropping very fast. One patient will touch, feel confused, the voice will change somehow. Then what women when we say total spine? So which means your patient is completely broke, even the brain. Your patient is in shock. Everywhere. So what you do, of course, signs, number one, shock. Your patient is in shock, cannot talk. BTs are down. What you do, you ventilate your patient, you bring your ETT, your thing, you might just roll it. For us, it's not troll, it is a crush what? Crush shot. For the patient who's going to die, it's called crush shot. Of course, you have an endoscope very fast. You induct the patient, that is, we give the ketamine because the patient is in shock. With the propofol and the serpentor, you cannot give the patient in shock. You get the endoscope, hold it like you give the induction agent, that is ketamine, you give your muscle actant peak, that is saxonisonium, give it, then of course you hold the patient like this. This patient, now it is called rapid sequence induction. This is an emergency. You hold your patient, you get your tube, you put, then you cough, you ventilate your patient. There we are done. Okay? That is anesthesia. So what matters with anesthesia is knowing your patient, the progress of your patient. You must have a successful. In anesthesia, we have very many machines. That is very openly said. We have anesthesia machine, we have monitors, but the best monitor is what? Is you. And the best equipment you must have is this one. Because with other monitors, you can monitor the heart rate, you can monitor the blood pressure, but I don't think all monitors can monitor biological energy. Can they? Only these two. With guys of anesthesia, Mosaic, Dr. Bukim. If we find here in this area of this one, it is a double food. This one. So after stabilizing a patient, you will put a patient, after the procedure is done, you will take a patient in recovery room, that is HDU, for post-op monitoring. What do we monitor in HDU or in recovery? Of course, you monitor the baseline parameters, how they were, intra, then current, and you compare them. The patient may be having like 80 out of 60 BP, and his baseline BP was 90 out of 60. You can't make much. And for with anesthesia, you may give certain drug, and heart rate or pulse goes up to 150. You are not alarming. When you give everything, what is going to increase? When you give ketamine, you know. So say, relax, relax. It's a matter of time. That is anesthesia. So, let me give you some spinal dose.
My spinal needle is in circulation.
Have you seen them?
Yeah.
They are here.
Spinal needle.
When the dermis is not open back.
Okay, members, just to add on something small. Most times in a theater, I usually tell my colleagues there is no Holy Communion in theater. There are people who come and they have their hands behind as if they are going to receive Holy Communion. In a theater, there is no Holy Communion. In a theater, there is no pocketing. You just have to be flexible. Anytime, anything can happen. So most times, just like he has explained about the spinal, whenever you're going to do spinal anesthesia, at the back of your mind, you have to ensure that there is always an emergency trolley, because you don't know what will happen from your spine. A spinal can end up being a high spinal or a total spinal. And once it is a total spinal, it becomes an emergency. So if you have no emergency trolley, then you hit a dead end. We are together. So immediately after doing your spinal, after removing your needle from the back, we try to elevate the heads of this patient slightly, okay? Because we don't want this drug to move up. Are we together? We don't want the bupivacaine, the drug that has been injected. It's called an hyperbaric drug, bupivacaine, okay? Where you put it is where it will settle. When you leave it like that, it can ascend. Are we together? And once it ascends, it becomes a high spinal or a total spinal. So you need to know what is in your emergency trolley. You have the emergency drugs, you need all of them, the ephedrine, the adrenaline, the atropine, the ketamines, name them, so many of them, there are more. So you have to put everything there. And the other thing with anesthesia, all our drugs, we have to reconstitute them. That one should be at the back of your mind. They are all reconstituted, and you'll always get all of them in syringes with labels. This is adrenaline, such and such milligrams per meal, reconstituted in such and such a time, in such and such a day, such that a person who is coming does not mess up. Once you get a drug in the anesthesia room which is not labeled, just discard it. Just throw it away, because you don't know what it is, except maybe the propofol, which it's the only milky local anesthetic we use. Even when you get it, when it's not labeled, you know this is propofol, because it's milky. The way you see the color of milk, that's how it is. We are together. Yeah. So, spinal emergency trolley at the back of your mind. We are together. We have seen our brothers and sisters present the other cases, but you as the analysis, you need to have all this at the back of your mind, because you can receive an emergency, has no catheter, has no cannula. We are together. No one is going to cannulate for you. No one is going to catheterize for you as the anesthesis. So you need
and
to.
And when these people fail, they bring for you.
They bring for you.
So they know you are the senior anesthetist.
Okay. So basically that.
Another thing is spinal is only for abdomen and lower limbs. Only.
All right, I think
we are done.
So in summary, maybe I forgot to show you this. These are airway pieces. Whenever you put a tube into the patient's mouth, you have to secure. You have to put this one too. These are airways. They call them the Goodale airways. Yeah, okay. They are different types. Even this is also an airway, as you see.
You may insert like this and you turn, or you may put the electric like this. For me, I like this one and turn. But others like this one.
Then lastly, the KY jelly, you saw it in catheterization, right? But we also use it when we are inserting these tubes. We lubricate the tip of this tube, because you can't just push it as dry as it is. So we have a lot to share, but
we shall talk about this one when we are talking about the which has different parts. This one. There is also a line inside.
Yeah.
This line is very important. So the spinal.
Then the face masks. These are face masks. They are different sizes. If you have
this one is
large cheeks,
face masks.
We also look for a larger one.
LMA with different sizes, 20 kilograms, size 3, size 4, we have more size 1.
So thank you so much, our dear brothers.
And another thing, everybody is a customer of these things.
Thank you so much, brothers from the anesthesia department. We are winding up. We are left with two things. One is a production care, which is given only in 5 minutes. Then two, cutting of the cake.
Where is the cake?
Yeah, don't leave anyone because it is the biggest cake of Kappa. We have a lady in the room who she had a birthday and she wants to share the cake with you. So I request the lady who is taking us through reproductive health. I give you 5 minutes, please. Pay attention. Less mind of time. Some of us we have serious issues to go and deal with the other side. Please give us this little time, you have come up here for you, and you listen. Listen to her.
The anesthesia people, they have done what it means to go for a discussion when you not read. I didn't know this. Do you know that? Yes. So I'm called Cynthia Duffin. I am in second year. I represent reproductive health of East National in Sean and Stanley. Stanley is supposed to be here, but he lost a grand soul to barrier. But the other one is here. So, because they're already hungry, like 2 minutes. First of all, Scholar in food is Standing Committee of Reproductive Health Rights and AIDS. So we are concerned with reproductive health and AIDS. So what we do, we have family planning, menstrual hygiene, and contraception and relationships. So we are going to start with relationships. See, with medical students, I'm told they have the highest level of sex at campus. Why you asking? Because they have a lot of stress. So the only thing they do to release the stress is having sex. And most of the relationships in medical school are sex-based. Yeah. Even when you don't want, a guy puts a chidera and you have to go there. And of course, when you go there, everyone is saying quarters should be in a relationship. But that's not the issue. But as you're having a sex, me, I won't stop you. Go and have your sex, but make sure it is safe. But the boys, first of all, if you have very many sexual partners, you get different partners. You lock your rooms with them. If you know this one is coming, you put the partner of the issue. We are heard of your side chicks and girlfriends being stranded at the shop. You tell her you're coming at 4. She comes at 4 and you appear at 6. She's on your door for 2 hours. Because you didn't give her a key. You buy different partners. Give her it, she goes to change her battle, but stop taking up. We are not safe. Then others even tell you come at night, then you leave, at 6 a.m. no one is seeing you walking in this morning from power, as if you're from seeing something at his place. Are you ashamed of us? Yeah, on top of the God, we are ashamed. What I do is that we are ashamed. It fits my understanding how you start bringing in a girl at midnight and then she goes at 5.
There is no water.
They have many choice. Okay, if we are very many, you make her come at 6 p.m. after lectures and you push her to 9. So you can have your shifts, we don't care. But stop paying for one at 5. And the other thing I'm going to talk about is you should know the status, the HIV status of your partners. But because you have multiple health, you decide to do bedside testing. By the time the results are out, you already dead. That's the issue. You can do it today. You can test today and do your things the next day. It doesn't have to be that particular day if you're not that patient. If you go there before the results are out, you already had the sex and you find the other person was supposed to start fun. Then the UTIs which you get, they can be, they are treated at the university, but you never go there. They are complaining boys around to go for emergency pills. Boys eat those things. Why should you have sex with a boy and he goes to get you an emergency pills? Why are you getting sex? You're saying, first of all, why are you having unprotected sex? But okay, after having unprotected sex, why are you letting the boy pick? Because if the guy goes to the nurse will ask him, what do you want the pill? Because the pill is used by ladies, what do you want it for? And if you're a lady and you go to the nurse and you ask her for emergency pills, so she asks you what? She She'll give you that thing, but your boyfriend has passed through corners, Simanya is left with, oh, I want to sleep with her, then you get. Girls go for that. Those things, so, and those things are diversity being expired. The last thing I'm going to do is about condoms. We are seeing that boys now put on condoms, but it's not. If I can bring a boy here to help us put on this condom. Who is volunteering? Sister, you come. If you don't come, I'll read my phone. Okay, this is a banana.
Let's pay attention so that you use only 5 minutes because we are against time. You don't need to be 3 p.m. And you know we are not providing lunch, so we made it to end at midday. Some of us, you never know, we may be diabetic.
Sister boys are shy, I'm going to put it on myself.
No, she can be a man. Come on, please. Come on, hold this. Why do you fear? This is the thing you should practice very well because it's a primary need. Nobody teaches you that you should have sex in life.
Okay, the steps. Number one, remove the condom from the packet.
One will put.
Carefully prevent any tears or damage.
See, you're the one that says. She also.
Remove the condom from the packet carefully to prevent any tears or damage. Then hold the reservoir tip of the condom to squeeze out air and make room for the sperm.
Are you using the reservoir tip?
Yes. You hold it. It says you hold it. You hold it. You hold it.
Yes.
Continue.
Then unroll the condom onto the erect penis and continue to hold the reservoir tip of the condom and unroll.
This is struggling.
Then keep unrolling the condom on the whole length of the penis until it goes to the pubic hair.
She did it very well.
The fifth step is always use a condom from start to finish. Use a new condom for each act of sexual intercourse.
Do it.
Then after ejaculation, hold on to the edge of the condom and pull out for your partner while the penis is still erect. Remove the condom by carefully rolling it down the penis.
You have to be very careful not to make it fall. Because otherwise you'll get pregnant with residual sperm. Yes.
Then throw it away in a pit latrine or
burn it up.
And bury it.
Congratulations.
And the boys who have your 16 rounds use different condoms. What are you saying? Use the different condoms for the different
rounds.
These condoms are available in pretty.
These condoms are
Are you demonstrating this one also for the ladies?
You do it.
So we are short of time. Maybe we organize for the next time. Let's make another time, but I can demonstrate for the next time. So you're done.
So that is it.
So let's give a hand clap to that.
There is something university students have started joining LGBTQ. That thing. Why are you gay? Why are you gay? You get my point? Yeah. Stop abortion, stop being gay. No one is wrong.
Thank you so much. As you wind up, I want to repeat what she has said. If you take what she has said lightly, you are at risk. HIV in the and in this campus I'm not lying. If you think I'm lying, pick 3 girls, randomly go and test, or pick 3 boys, randomly go and test. You will see the results yourself. Don't, medical student, you are very used to this nursing school. There's a lot of HIV there. You come from your biomedical, you reach there, you are the consultant. All the nursing students are yours. All right, HIV is there, the drug is there, fine, but taking the drug is not easy. First of all, to adapt it, to accept it is not easy. But you can adapt. If you test positive, take drug. Okay? If I test positive, I will take drug. If I don't take, I will die. If you don't take, you become very sick and you shall know it. So you refuse taking the drug so that you help us diagnose you clinically without laboratory test. Because you will have opportunistic infection physically. Please test and use condom. Testing for the first time does not guarantee you. These guys, they love you, they love guys who has money. You are a reserver, that one also is there. She picked big sum of money from there, she come here. She has had sex last week, you test her today, she's negative, but you're getting the virus. But if you test her 1 to 2 months, she may be positive, it may help. What about if she has just had sex during the holidays? Have those questions. You guys, don't first go to the girls' room before testing. For the boys' house. You go and have sex and you demand for test. What's wrong with you? You are also a problem to the community. Why do you accept sex before testing? Test before. A man is always ready to offer for you the whole account. Persist, so long as he loves you. Persist, say, I'm giving you, but we test. The man will even run. But you must accept sex. Not the topic of today. Next time, invite me for it. I have 30 seconds from the DTL. 30 seconds. Then 30 seconds from the Minister of ICT. 30 seconds, guys. Let's maintain.
Hello, guys. So I assume you've had exposure with some of the instruments I deal in, the BP machines. So this is a digital thermometer and the tuning fork. I'm sure you've used it in Weber's test, Rain's test. Then the pulse oximeter, they talked about it. But this is the handheld pulse oximeter.
Yeah.
And it will help you monitor, like decide if your patient needs oxygen or doesn't, the pulse rate. Then the tape measure is used for different things like muscle bulk, liver span. So, in case you need any of those things, you can contact me, or we have a coordinator in our class, Mr. Timothy Mugara. You can contact us and get in touch.
Thank you so much. These are things that you need to use on the clinical side. Please don't go borrowing so that the lecturers start having bad art on you. Because you may get 100% in written, but they will give you a written because you don't have equipment and you don't have hands. Very serious. Not that people who get retakes, they are dull, but because of your behavior. 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Akangano Gracious. I'm the Field Minister. I'm so glad to have got this opportunity to be with you today. For sure, Minister of Health, thank you for inviting me. And I was here with my news reporter, she's here. We work together under the Guild Cab Media team, and whatever was taking place here, we are going to publish it on the Guild website. Again, this event was live on Gracious Golden TV. So from here, you can again go back and follow. This video will be there from the start up to the end. So, I had 20 students who are attending online. I think they are also part of you. Those who missed, let them go. You just go on internet, you type Gracious Golden TV, then you bring a link, you tap there, it will take you there, and you see whatever was taking place here. Otherwise, I wish you all the best and know that we are in digital era. Whatever information is around the campus, always check on the Guild website. You just go in Google or Chrome, you type guild.pub.ac.ug. You will find everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. By this time, I would say we have come to the end of this training session organized by the GATE, Kabale University and the Ministry of Health, none other than our dear Maclean. I also thank Capsule. I thank all the department, nursing, anesthesia, public health, medicine, and everyone else. In the absence of our lecturers, we know they love us because they were busy. Also, I thank UNSA, and I advise all of you to join UNSA because you are a student. To be called a student of medicine or anesthesia or nursing, you better join your association. So I am leading up the association. I started year one way back in 2019. I'm late enough. I think I may not come up. Okay. So come in and so that this kind of thing continue for your very soon work happening this year. For equipment, consulting,